And I remember like walking down the aisle, and I was like, who are those people?
Really?
Yeah. And I think that was the one thing where it's like, whether it's like the bouquet toss or the garter thing or any of those stuff, it's like you definitely want to like share those memories with the people that you're closest with. I start filming them, and they try to hit me with their car. It was the craziest.
Like you as a person, like your body?
I'm filming them, and they literally veer at me, and I jump out of the way.
Skippity? What is it? Do you know? No Giats here.
Her name is Trish, she's got the dish and all the gossip's filthy rich, pretty and pink, hot topic queen, and says what everybody thinks. She's Just Trish.
All right, guys, welcome back to Just Trish. Today's guest, I am super excited. I'm a huge fan. He is TikToker turned bona fide rock star, really. With over 20 million combined followers, we have Mr. Alex Warren.
Hi. I need Trisha to introduce me to everything. Like that's awesome.
You're like the first person I gave a proper introduction to. Most people are like, you have to introduce the guest. And I'm like, I got it with
Really?
Alex. Yeah, I'm very nervous to interview you because actually
No way.
love you for
But
so
it's
long.
just, we just shoot the shit. Like, it's nothing.
You are very like humble and down to earth.
Thank you.
Which I feel like influencers your age, and probably just because they got so famous so rich quickly, are like not as like down to earth, but you're very chill. You're
I
like,
just don't think I got something to be cocky about. I don't know.
you have a lot to be cocky about. You
Thank
found
you.
love early. You have an amazing voice. You started the Hype House. You started TikTok basically. You and your
thank
crew.
you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
There's so much to get into because I'm so excited for your new music. But
Yes.
how
we
are
were
you?
talking for a while
know.
before this. So.
In 10 minutes, we squeezed the whole interview in. I was like, wait, talk about this.
We were speedballing. I'm good. Yeah, I just got married, which is really cool, and
Congrats.
I know. Congrats to you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been really cool. Everything has gone really quickly. I got married and immediately jumped on a tour. Now I'm back, and then I go back on another tour soon.
That's so exciting. Your first tour, is that the first time you guys were apart?
Yeah, it was our first time being apart longer than like a week.
Since you guys have lived together out here in California.
Yeah. We were, when I first did my first tour, that was the first time spending more than a day apart ever since we started living together, which is, most people are listening like, what the f***? That's stupid. But we just never found ourselves in a position where we were apart from each other. It wasn't like we were like, oh, we have to be together all the time. We just did a lot of stuff the last, 6-7 years of our lives together.
Which is like crazy since you're 23. So you're like your whole adult lives basically. You
Right.
spend every day together.
Yeah, I mean, we moved in together when we were 4 months in, at 18 years old, sleeping in a car together. And then, from there we were by the hip, and we pursued a career together. We pursued everything together. It's almost like, you went to college with your girlfriend, and once you left college, you moved in right away.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think that's so good because we're the same way. We've never been apart. We've been apart like one day, our wedding night. We were slept
my
apart.
goodness.
And people are like, don't you get sick of each other? I'm like, but no. Like, I'm like, I get weird if he doesn't come with me places.
Feels weird when you're
Yeah.
apart. Yeah. That's like tour is like, oh my God, it's so strange because like I never lived by myself ever. Like once I moved out of my house, I was in a car for maybe like 2 months before Kouvr started sleeping in a car with me. So like I've never like had my own place by myself. So doing these hotels and these tour buses and stuff without her just feels really strange.
Yeah. What did you do? How did you cope with it? Did you have like a pillow or you
So
FaceTiming?
we do this thing where we get each other they're not squishmallows. What are they? They're like those little stuffed animals. I forget what they're called.
Like a squishmallow? Not a squishmallow?
It's called something. It's like a jelly cat. Jelly cat.
Love those, yes.
So we get each other a jelly cat every time I go on tour. So she's got like a buttload of them on the bed, and I'll take whichever one she gave me, and we like do a little trade off right before I leave.
Oh my God. Do you put like a little voodoo in them so you can like smell
She
each
sprays
other?
her perfume on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that. So
yeah.
you feel the connection.
I sleep with it every day on
Oh
tour.
my God. I know when she
My
didn't come with
bandmates
you.
make fun of me.
Really? They take
Yeah.
little pictures of you?
Yeah.
When I didn't see her come in, I was like, wait, where's Alex without Kouvr and Kouvr without Alex?
It's
like you guys
weird.
are the duo.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was sleeping when I left her.
We love Kouvr. We were talking about before. I literally got Kouvr merch. I was like obsessed. I was obsessed with you guys truly in 2020.
Rad.
And I was just like, I remember I like DM'd you. I wanted to be in your videos so bad. I thought your vlogs that you used to do were like so cool.
Oh my
and
God!
so
Why didn't you
iconic.
say anything? I would have came here and filmed with
I
you.
feel like I definitely did. 'Cause
Really?
that's when I first met Moses in 2020, and I was like, I want to be in his videos so bad.
Oh my
But then it is
God.
weird because I always talk about old people being in young people's vlogs. What were you, 18 back then? Oh, wait, 2020?
I was 20.
So 20.
I was
It's
20.
still kind of weird. I think I was like 32 at the time.
That's not old, Trisha.
I'm not trying to be the old person in a young person's vlog.
This is amazing,
Yes,
by the way.
Just Trish water.
Just Trish water.
It's tasty, good for your vocals.
Amazing.
For you.
Yeah, you pick it up at your local 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Oh my god. We start selling it.
Right? That'd be rad.
I love branded anything. Yeah, I've loved you for so long.
You're so sweet. Thank you
and
very much.
It's cool to see. Well, let's go since we're talking
Please,
about your
hit me.
backstory, and
Hit
I
me.
love how open you are.
Thanks.
You're like, I'm an open book, which you should write a book, really.
Thank you. I don't know if anyone wants to read that yet, but I don't know. I think it's really cool. The reason I'm so open is I think just the things that I've gone through and stuff like that. I think a lot of people make those type of things up, and the fact that I've gone through them and I've been able to make it out on the other side pretty unscathed and positive.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, and I think it's not inspiring because I think that gives a lot of weight to it, but it's more of like, oh, hey, it is possible to get out of that situation you're in.
I think that's the definition of inspiring, right? Getting out of a situation.
It just feels weird coming out of my mouth saying my story's inspiring.
But that's why you're humble, because it is. It's like the most inspirational story.
I want to throw up a little when I say it. That's all.
But I think people would agree, and I feel like also that you found, like, I think when people come from, like, broken homes, I think so many influencers have, it's like you never can find those relationships. Like, I never found a stable relationship, so, like, you showing that. And also, I think your couple goals, because you just, like, put Kouvr up on such a pedestal. Like, there's no qualms you're in a relationship. Like, he's in a relationship and he's happy, and most guys don't show that.
It's weird. When we fight, like, probably once a month, and it's just because we haven't fought.
Right.
So it's, like, the weirdest thing where we'll just get so upset over one thing, and it's, like, maybe, like, a blanket that wasn't put away. It's
really?
fucking crazy.
That's the height of your fights.
I just think we have a really good understanding of each other.
Yeah.
Like we kind of grew up together in that point. Like we both went. Like I lost my mom when we were together. Like there's so many things that like happened where, we've been through a lot. So every kind of issue that we ever have is very minute. Like it's very small and easy to navigate. And like if anything, I'd probably make the most mistakes out of the relationship.
Really?
I think it's I mean, I get so caught up in like the music and like the work, and I'm gone 4 months out of the year now. So it's like if not more, like I've been gone 4 months out of the year after these next 2 tours, and then they want to send me to Asia right when I get back. So it's like,
oh my god!
And she's like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, it's all in the past couple years, right? You signed to Atlantic.
This just started this year. Yeah. All the touring and stuff. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she's definitely like, oh my god. It's been nice though because she comes with me a lot of the time now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we just have 4 dogs and a lot of like cats and stuff. So
no one to watch them.
Right. So it does get a little hard to navigate, and there's a lot of break-ins in LA now. So it's just like
crazy.
We have to hire security. It's a whole thing.
I lived in your area, and then quarantine, we hired 24-hour security guard.
I had to do that too.
It's awful. It's crazy, and it's like wild too because it's like what
it's
are
a nice
people
area.
doing? Yeah, it's nice. I know. That's why I told you should come out this way because then you have like double
love
gates
it here.
and
it was like Fort Knox trying to get in here.
That's why we chose it.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so that's
oh my
security.
gosh, I was like, nice, Trisha. Good.
Those
mukbangs paid.
Oh my gosh, the mukbangs did it all. No, actually, that is your license plate. You said is mukbang.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should say it.
No, go for it. I don't give. Follow me. Come to my house.
I didn't know you had a massive truck. I mean, Moses was like, yes, this is really massive truck. Yeah. What is it?
It's a Ram TRX. It's like they put I wish I could explain this better. Do you know what a Hellcat is?
No.
It's like a supercharged big V8 engine, and they put it in a pickup truck. Oh. So it's just this fast, massive pickup truck. That's
is it
really
loud?
Cool. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. I think if I get on it, yeah. Some people can make it loud.
Those loud trucks the next year, just like, oh my gosh, just a lot.
Yeah, small penis. I'm compensating a lot, actually. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, so it's been fun. I really like that. I always wanted a truck as a kid. So even in LA and Hollywood, you'll just see me in this massive black car. Like it's just like
I love that
because
you grew up in Carlsbad,
which
is like understated. Yeah, it's kind of like casual, like laid back.
Yeah,
I love that area. I grew up in. My dad had a house in Escondido.
No, that's where our wedding was.
Wait, really?
Where at? Ethereal Gardens. So it's like right off the cusp of Temecula and Escondido.
Yes, he lives in Temecula now, so I know that very well. So I'm very 909. That's very me.
I love that. Oh my god.
But your wedding, that was. We know it was a few hours away based on TikToks. People being like, I drove 5 hours for that wedding. I was like, where did they have it?
Not 5 hours.
It's a few hours. Yeah, you guys.
It's 2 hours away.
How was so? But the wedding was not problematic during the wedding.
No, and what's crazy, and I mean, maybe it was, but our not team, but like her bridesmaids were fantastic. Yeah. Like they handled everything. Like if something happened, they handled it right away. Like I don't know how your wedding was, but for me, I was shitting myself during rehearsal. It did not go to plan at all.
Wait, what happened?
Rehearsal just was like, there was just a bunch of, everyone had opinions about something. Because this was our first time obviously running through it. And like, I kind of let Kouvr take the stick and like be like, run with this. And anything she wanted, I was so, hell yeah, let's run it. But then her family and then my family, they all had like opinions or why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? And I think that was like something where like Kouvr and I just started looking at each other like,
Yeah.
we're so
We should have eloped.
I had to run the rehearsal like 5 times and it literally never went right.
Oh,
and so when it came down to the actual thing the next day, I was nervous as hell. And I had just written my vows 6 hours before. Like it was a game time decision to change them and make them perfect. And all I remember is walking down the aisle and I go, this is perfect. Like it somehow meticulously and perfect, like came out so perfect. It could not have been more perfect in my eyes.
Wow. What do you think it was that it all like came together last minute?
I think everyone just realized the scope of it. Like I think when it came down to it and everything, they were just like, okay, like, you know, it's really easy to not take it seriously in a rehearsal because you don't have all the decorations out. It's very like just plain, like you have to make up a lot of things and like once it actually happened, you kind of knew where to go and everything, which was really nice.
Yeah, ours was the opposite. We had a good rehearsal, and then the day of, everything went wrong. The stairs were at the wrong side, so he had to like lift up my dress, and I had to hop off the stage. It was a disaster.
Parkour during your wedding ceremonies is something I never expected.
It very was, but your vows did go viral.
Right.
I think that might be the thing you're most known for, because even my glam today, I was telling them about you, and they're not on TikTok, so they're not so familiar.
Sure.
But they knew the vows because I was showing and like, oh, he went viral with his wedding. I was like, yes, exactly. So you wrote them yourself.
Yeah. So I was. That was like my 6th series of vows that I had written. The first 5, I was like, this isn't good enough, whatever. It's like, I just thought for some reason, since I'm a songwriter, I'd be able to bust it out in 30 seconds. And so I was like, don't worry, guys, I'll be done in 30 minutes. It's 11:30 p.m. I start. And I remember blinking, and it was 3, 4 in the morning. And I'm looking at these vows, and I'm like, these are so bad, so terrible. So I was about to give up, and one of my buddies, Ryan, came into the room, and he's like, oh, you're done? And I'm like, nope, no, I'm going to give up and probably try again in the morning. And he's like, just talk to me. Tell me about it. How'd you guys meet? And so I just started spitballing. He's like, write that down. And so I started writing down, and he kind of like I think I was overthinking it too much. And it took me maybe 15 minutes talking to Ryan about it. And I was just telling him like all the things. He's like, write it down. And it was really nice to like kind of like take a step back, and that's how those vows came.
Just from your heart.
Yeah.
This is the easiest.
Yeah, I wasn't trying when I was talking about it.
Right.
And that's where the perfection, in my opinion, came out.
Oh my God, I know. I feel like you set the bar so high for vows. I was like crying. I cry now when you talk about it. I was just like, it's so amazing. Like, they're so beautiful. And again, for a guy and as young as you and as like famous as you and all the stuff like that, to like be so open with their emotions, it's like really refreshing to see. And I think that's why people like your music. Would you do a big wedding again? Like if you had to redo it or gave advice to people?
Probably not. I don't. And it's so funny because that's the advice I got a lot from other people. It's like, I wouldn't do a big wedding again. I think it was just like there was a lot of like +5s. Like there was so many people who I didn't know.
Did you allow it? Like, did they ask and you're like, okay, sure.
Yeah. Like we kind of just wanted, like, Kouvr and I have been like our house has been like a safe haven for so many people, where like whether it's like when they left the Hype House or when, people had left like content houses and they had nowhere to go, we typically kept our doors open.
Wow.
So we kind of like kept that same mentality for our wedding. We're like, we don't want anyone to feel left out, like in that situation.
Wow. Yeah.
So we invited 350 people.
Oh.
250 showed up. So like there's 100 people who like couldn't make it or had prior stuff, commitments. And I remember like walking down the aisle and I was like, who are those people?
Really?
Yeah. And I think that was the one thing where it's like, whether it's like the bouquet toss or the garter thing or any of those stuff, it's like you definitely want to like share those memories with the people that you're closest with. And that's the one thing I wish someone gave me advice about, is like when it came down to like the bouquet and all these, the garter and like all these different like things where it's like you get to look back on that, you kind of hope that would be your closest friends that you're able to like look at, Yeah,
so looking back, you're like in photos, you see like yourself down the aisle and it's like people you don't recognize. So you're just like,
But like that's not deal breaker. Like I genuinely, I could not have thought that wedding was more perfect in my opinion.
Keep the list shorter.
Maybe, yeah. Like that's if I had to do something different.
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel like it's important though, because like you said, giving advice. I always tell people if I wasn't a content creator, I would have done. We did a big wedding here and another one in Maui, and the one in Maui was so cheap. It was like literally like 30,000 all inclusive, right? And that was like 10 guests, whatever. Everything here was like $500,000, and we had like bright lights and like all that stuff like that. And I was like, honestly,
did you get any stuff like comped for your wedding?
No, did you?
Yeah.
I don't get anything comped.
Our wedding would have costed, without the discounts and everything, probably $300,000.
Wait, so that's amazing. Do you have someone like reach out on your behalf, or people just all come to you?
I've got lucky with Kouvr having a really good management team that handles that. Like my management team is very like music oriented, and they're like, "Why the? What do you have to do with the wedding?" But she handled everything. Like my suits were. I just had to pay for materials for me and my groomsmen suits.
No way.
And like her name's Camilla who made them, and she's so cool. She's a designer down in LA, and like just everyone we worked with. They were all so cool, and they were all so happy with the wedding. And I've been really blessed with the position I'm in. And obviously, Kouvr and I, when we first met to now, is like, how on earth are we able to like do all this? And it's really cool.
Yeah, I think your guys is again your humility like is such a big part of why people want to work with you. You know what I mean?
Maybe
because you guys come across so like genuine and so nice. So I think people just like want to work with you and be around good vibes.
Oh, that's very sweet.
And you guys handled it all so well. Would you invite influencers again?
Yeah, here's the thing. Most of them were our friends. Like even like everyone was our friends, really.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like there was no one at the wedding where I go, oh, I hate them. There's not one person at that wedding where I was like, never again, whatever. Like that's just like we are kind of just like that, where we just really like everyone.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. You're just like nice people and stuff like that. So
Not even that. Like, I'm not trying to be like overly nice. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be like, oh, like, you know, I'm humble and all these things.
Yeah.
Genuinely speaking, like, I'm just a people pleaser. Like, to be straight up. That's just how I am. I think
Yeah.
my presence is a conflict in your life. So please like me more.
that's such a wild take. It's so interesting because
I'm the most insecure girl ever.
wait, really?
Yeah.
You come across so confident. You are like
How?
David Dobrik, but safe and nice.
Oh, thank you.
Because he's very charismatic. No, I've always said this. I think David Dobrik is like, that's why I liked your vlogs back in the day. You
Thank
gave
you.
me David vibes, which I'm sure you got compared
For
to a lot.
sure. I definitely was influenced heavily from his vlogs.
Okay, so you like,
Yeah.
and he's like literally the most charming, like nice, like when you're around him, you just like want to be around him. You knew him, right?
I view
You're
it like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I view it like this. Like, if in high school I was a heavily bullied kid, but I always wanted to be the popular kid. And so, like, whenever the popular kid would wear Vans, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to wear Vans. Where, like, the popular kid wore skinny jeans. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to wear skinny jeans because you want to be like the popular kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like David Dobrik. So
Interesting. Yes,
yeah.
you were influenced by him.
And also, you have to think I was homeless. And I had nothing to my name, and I had a group of friends who I thought were very unique, and so did David. So I was just like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to try and do this, and I think just got lost in the tracks a bit.
You had such good friends. Who was the one? He had like hat, glasses. You know, he was like really like loud, and God, I feel like I talked to him at one
Papper?
point. What's his name?
Is he bigger?
Yes.
Papper.
Loved him. I loved him so much. I feel
What's
like
cool
I
is
talked to him at one
They
point.
were all at my wedding. Half of them were in my wedding party. Like they're all very close. I think they just all. When I started doing social media, they felt obligated to do it because they were in my vlogs, but I don't think they wanted to do it. So once it all kind of like they're all back in college, they're all like back in Carlsbad, like pursuing like careers that they wanted to do, and it was kind of like that was their college experiences, being in the hype house and all this stuff.
Okay, so you're in Hype House at 18 years old.
Yeah, we created it at 19.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So
I just turned 19 when we created it.
and you're here in LA. You're living in your car? Or are you living with friends at this
No,
point?
so by the time Hype House started, I had just my social media career like a year before I had started doing well independently. I had a million followers by then. So yeah, I was doing. We had just got an apartment together when Hype House started.
Okay.
And then like me, Kouvr, and all my friends, we were filming our vlogs, and that's where I introduced like Lil Huddy to Thomas and everything. And then Thomas was like, "Oh, hey, just got a house. Let's all move in together." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
Wait, how did you know Little Huddy?
From my vlogs.
Oh my! So you were the cool kid. You're literally like the new David. Where
I
people
wanted
wanna
to
be.
fit in. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I wanted to fit in. I still did. Like, you had to think these were like good looking boys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 18, 19 years old. I do not look like that.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
a pasty.
you did.
I'm a pasty little boy who has a complex to want to be famous.
I always thought you were the best looking because you reminded me of Gerard Way, who I'm obsessed with.
Oh, I get that a lot.
Every girl like loves Gerard Way, and that's your vibe.
I love Gerard Way. So thank you.
And your face, everything looked like him. So I wouldn't like.
Really?
It's so funny you say that you felt insecure next to them because I think they're like good looking. I guess I would definitely think you're like the star of the group for sure.
Very much. That is a unpopular opinion, but
No,
I appreciate
I don't think so.
Thank you very much.
Because your fan base is probably mostly girls.
Yeah, 60%.
That's always bizarre to me too, because just like those vlogs with all the boys and stuff.
You got to think like the relationship with Kouvr.
That's
like girls
true.
are definitely more invested in that, where guys are kind of like, okay, dude. And my music is like where it's kind of 60-40, more 50-50.
Yeah.
But it used to be a lot predominantly more women, and I think it's just because women are more in touch with their feelings, I think. Men are very much like, oh, feelings, yeah.
Yeah.
And like my songs are very feeling oriented.
They're so feelings.
Yeah.
Did you grow up, your dad passed away when you were 9.
Yeah.
But you were close with your dad before that.
Yeah, my dad made it like you have to think, my dad knew he was dying like for the longest time. He was fighting cancer by the time I was born, and he had beaten it a few times. So for him, it was just always like, I can't imagine when I have kids, and if I ever had that, like, or if I kind of put myself in his shoes, like, not knowing how long you have left is crazy. And especially when you have 4 kids, it's like his entire life was kind of made around kids and wanting to be a father. So, yeah.
So knowing that, like, he was on, like, you know, he beat cancer, could possibly come back, you think he was more present? You think it made him more present as a dad?
Yeah, I mean, you have to think, like, for me, if I ever had a scare where I almost died or I was told I was going to die and I beat that illness, I think I'd have an appreciation for life and the things around me at that time. But that being said, I was 9. I don't really remember a lot. Like, it's really crazy to, like, he left us a bunch of videos and stuff. And so it's cool to watch him back and, like, kind of get to know my dad, because as I get older, I realize I didn't know him very well.
Yeah, because you were just, like, so young. Yeah, I get so sad because we're older parents. And
Sure.
I just think we always say this, if you don't have a dad, it, like, affects you so much, but you, like, it wasn't his choice or your choice to not have a dad. And I feel like it makes me, like, so sad to think about that.
I sometimes wish it was one of those situations where it was like, you know, he walked out or something like that, because I think then you're able to have some type of closure.
Yeah.
I think there's something about, like, how life gets ripped away from you is kind of like the terrifying part.
Your story it always makes me sad. I, like, most of the time I'll be scrolling, and I'm like, every time I see something about your, like, story, I'm just like, this is so sad. And you deal with it so, like, great. Like, you seems like you don't.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have nights where I'm like, holy, I cry my ass off. Like, but that's something where, like, I think with these things happening to me at a young age, I've realized that outlooks on things, I guess. To me, with losing my dad and losing my mom, I would not be where I am today. I would not have a music career. I would not have met Kouvr if my mom didn't die. So, like, those are, those are things where I would have never met half these people. Like, I would not have a wife if I didn't lose my parents. So, like, that's something to me where, holy shit, the person I am today is the byproduct of the things that have happened to me that are bad. And, like, you know, I that's the way I look at things. And, you know, I'm very thankful for the life I have. And I genuinely think that everything happens for a reason.
I love that saying, everything happens for a reason, because that's what I always say too, but I've never lost someone close to me. So I felt like if it was like, you know, when someone loses a child or a parent, it's just like, okay, but what's the reason? But the way you said it was beautiful. It, like, led to something. Yeah. So your mom passed away before you met Kouvr.
She passed away after. The thing is that my mom passing away is what, like, the process of that and, like, her becoming an alcoholic, which inevitably killed her, is what made Kouvr and I, like, meet. So, like, Kouvr wasn't, I wasn't allowed to go see Kouvr because it was in Hawaii and my mom was on a whole thing. And so she had called my dad's best friend, and my dad's best friend is the person who convinced her to let me go. And my dad's best friend was in my life because my dad was dying from cancer.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like a whole thing.
Wild. Yeah.
I know.
What do you think your dad would have been like if you were like, I want to go see this girl in Hawaii? You think he would have been?
No.
No, he would have also been like.
No. The one thing I've learned about my dad is my dad was so open and very caring, but it was something where, like, he definitely, like, you have to think he just didn't I don't know. I think because, like, you have to think social media wasn't a thing back then, so I bet he had, like, skeptic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, what are you going to do with your life? Like, what are you going to do with stuff like that? Right. Would you let your son go?
I know this question.
go to Hawaii to follow a girl, live in his car?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Really?
There's a lot of things that I've done that I don't think I'd let my kid do. But at the end of the day, I don't know. That's what I'm terrified of. I'm terrified to be a father because, like, I want to do it right. But I think because the lack of thereof, like the fact that I didn't have any of that, is why I might be a good father, because I know what it's like not to have one.
They say you either, like, repeat the patterns or you break the patterns.
Right.
So I think you will. It sounds like you've broken every other pattern, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We're on a roll.
It's amazing. Like, with your mom being, you say alcoholic, you would call her an alcoholic.
So she drank herself to death. She died from liver failure.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was even a thing you could do. So it was really just drank too much.
Yeah, so after my dad passed away, she became a abusive alcoholic. That was just kind of like her shindig, her thing. And, like, she suffered from bipolar disorder and a lot of different things, so it kind of didn't help. But yeah, it hit a point where like I realized it was a problem and I was the only one to call her out on it. And I think that to her was like, okay, it's Alex's fault that I'm a drunk now. So then it turned into this whole thing. I got kicked out when I was 18 and homeless, and here we are.
What did she say when you got kicked out? She's like, you just have to leave?
I turned 18, right when I turned 18.
Oh, so then you decided, you're like, I'm leaving.
No. I turned 18 and she came into my room and said, it's time to go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. She kicked me out, and I couldn't bring anything but what I owned myself. And I owned a phone and a camera and a laptop. So I'm left and made vlogs.
Oh, my God. And then that's when you went to Hawaii?
I went to Hawaii right before that.
Okay, so you already knew Kouvr, and then that guy got it. Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, I always forget like how the timeline of things goes. This happened 7 years ago.
There's so much.
So crazy, right?
But also that's so recent. Like 7 years is still so recent, which is like wild.
Right.
It's like crazy to think about. So all of that, so like almost like social media kind of like saved you too, because it like gave you a career and...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have my music career without it or anything.
Were you doing music at a young age? Did you always like music?
When I was like 11, I would post singing videos and stuff on YouTube on like a separate account. And also like if you go to my TikTok all the way at the bottom, it's all singing. Like I wanted to do it for so long, but like it never worked. And then when I became homeless, I was like, I need to find something that works.
Yeah, that makes money.
Somehow the vlogs worked.
That is so wild. So when you're doing the vlogs, so so then Hype House comes. Little Huddy, you're introduced to Thomas, who's the star of Hype House. You still talk to Thomas?
No.
Is he like cool? I don't know. I know nothing about him.
I don't know. It's a little difficult. I think with Thomas, like he was one of my best friends, and I think with the money and a lot of things, it kind of just like that's where things changed. We sadly didn't end on a good term, and but yeah, he's doing well in life, I believe. I haven't talked to him. No one's really talked to him. He had his priorities on one thing, and I think he
was a little older than you guys, right? He was
I think he's like 27 now.
Oh, now?
Now he was 24 when I was 21. So,
oh my gosh.
What am I now? How
23.
Old am I? So he's 27, 28.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess doing business at such a young age too, like does anyone really know what they're doing at that age?
Well, we
you
didn't.
Know?
When Hype House happened, you have to think. So we that day we did a photo shoot, right? And like we did all those TikToks where it's like, let me get that, and then it was like it was just like all of us in our room, and we all were wearing jeans and white
shirt. Iconic.
That day, Thomas had came into our room and was like, hey, we need to come up with a name for this. And I was a very creative mother.
As you still are.
Right. And so me and Daisy and Kouvr at the time, I was like, Hype House. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's run it. And,
they loved it.
And we ran with it. And they're like, nope, no, we hate it. Thomas and Lil Huddy were like, what about a house of like the Colosseum or something crazy, like some Greek thing. They're like, that's badass. And I'm like, guys, trust me, Hype House is a way better name than whatever the that is. And so we created the Hype House, posted those photos, and the next morning we woke up to millions of followers, and our lives changing. And immediately New York Times wanted us. It was like a whole thing where I was like, what the just happened?
Was it actually a day?
Yeah, one day.
So after the photo shoot with the jeans and the white T-shirt, so people knew, how did New York Times become aware of it? Or it just became viral on TikTok?
Just viral. Everyone was talking about it. It was just a bunch of white kids dancing.
It was interesting to see. I'm like, it's a group of people. And how did you guys all meet each other?
Half of them were my hometown friends.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's how they met, from me.
Wow. Oh my God. But you had to have the confidence even back then to be like, no, it's Hype House. Because I always think all my ideas suck. I'm like, you're right, it sucks. But the fact that you like pushed for it, you had to have like...
It helped to have Kouvr and Daisy on my side.
Right, that's true.
But then it came down to a group vote, and Huddy and Thomas were the only ones who wanted the House of Colosseum or whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my... That would have been a horrible name. I don't think it would have been as big. So when you got the Netflix show, are you like executive producer? Are you like...
So that's where a lot of the falling out came.
Okay.
Because when I wanted to be a musician. So like that was kind of the thing. I'm like, hey, I don't want to, because Jake Paul came over to the house and he was like, hey, by the way, you guys are going to get sued a ton, all these things. I was like, I don't want that. I just want to make music and off.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want to do, in vlogs at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, like I'm going to step back and like, do whatever. Like just, I want to be a part of this. Don't kick me out, whatever. But like, I just want to make music, and the things I don't care about the business side of things. So then they started running with Huddy was a co-creator. and then,
what?
Yeah.
And you didn't get co-creator credit.
I didn't care. Like that was the thing. Like
what?
Yeah, but then they started making a ton of money, and I was just like, oh, whatever. I'll do the vlogs and I'll do the music, and I don't know. I was blessed to even be in that room. So.
Oh my! Wait, but that's so like, especially because you came up with the name. You didn't get any of the trademark of the IP or anything.
No.
Oh my! What about the merch? All the merch I was like at Walmart or something like that.
I don't remember what happened. I remember we got like, I think the Hype House got paid $500,000 for that, and I don't think I ever saw the money.
Oh my gosh! Wait, what?
Maybe I did. Actually, I might have.
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit,
but not
yeah.
$500,000. No. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Netflix show is like new Hype House people. It was like half of the original and half of the new people came in. Like Nikita wasn't, or was she in the original? I'm not sure.
I don't think she was ever part of the Hype House.
Okay, just came for the Netflix show.
Yeah.
How did you guys decide that? Like, who got to be casted for it?
We didn't. I don't think we did.
Oh.
To be honest, to be fully frank with you, by that time I was kind of so like, oh, like, you know, I'm not one of the lead people. I'm just gonna do my own thing.
That's wild.
But here's the thing. I made my money. I'm very blessed to be in the position I am. I've been able to. It truly, at the end of the day, I think coming out of all of it, I'm a winner in that retrospect. I found love. I have a family. I have friends that truly care about me, and you know, I've been blessed that I have a very profitable business. And like that's the thing where it's like, and I love making music, and like that's all I care about.
And you've accomplished it, so now you have like a record
right.
deal.
So like, I don't think it's like for so many times and so many people are like, oh my God, aren't you pissed? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'm like, why? I don't think it matters. I came out of this unscathed. I'm fine.
Right, yeah. You've succeeded. It's not like you got like pushed aside
it's like,
or something.
Why focus on the small things that are going to make my life so much more complicated?
So mature of you. Again, for 23 to like think about that, it's like wildly insane. Because in general, I just always felt like you guys were like more mature. Maybe because you guys were in a relationship, but it always seemed like you guys never fit in.
No,
in a
everyone
sense.
calls us mom and dad. Like that's people older than us call us mom and dad.
That's literally the vibes you give. Yeah.
I think it's just again, it's the fact that so many people took us in. Like when I was sleeping in a car. Sometimes, like, you know, our friends would be like, hey, like, we'll sneak you in the house. Because my mom did something where she convinced all these parents that I was a bad kid. I've never done drugs. I've never drank. Or, I mean, I drank, but I've never, like, drank, if you know what I'm talking about. But my mom somehow convinced them that I was bad news. And so, like, I wasn't allowed in the houses of these people's houses. So they'd sneak me and Kouvr in at night.
Oh my! Why do you think that was? Why do you think she was like just didn't want you to leave, or?
I think my mom wanted to prove that I needed her. Like that was the thing. And which when you look at it, and it's kind of sad, is my mom genuinely just wanted someone to need her, maybe. And I think a lot of things after losing my mom, I think I wish I had done differently, which I think is so normal. Whenever you lose someone, you always wonder what you could do differently. But I think a lot of it came out of my mom not feeling like she was the best mom, you know? And that was like hard. And what's really hard is when she passed away, the last thing she had said to me was, like for the first time ever, she had said, I have a drinking problem and I'm going to AA. And so when she finally started to try to get better, she died.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it's like the too late. Oh no.
Yeah.
Are you the oldest of your siblings?
Middle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry, this Trish water is just divine. Well, it's insane. I don't know what you put in it.
High.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, the electrolytes.
No,
your middle child.
Yeah, so I have an older sister who's very much like you.
Really?
Oh my God, she's a blonde who loves pink. If it was up to her, her dream car is a pink bug. Like one of those bugs.
Love those. They don't even make them anymore. I love the beetle bugs.
She like everything. Her office is all pink, very much like this.
She's
I know. She lives in Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's married and she's 27. She's 1994 or 1996. How old would she be? She's 4 years older than me.
I think. Yeah. 28 this year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So she's the oldest, and then I have an older brother who's a Marine.
Okay.
He's a year and something older than me, so he's 24, and I have a younger sister who lives in Seattle.
And what did they all do during this process? Are they living in Carlsbad when your mom's going through her addiction? Or are they living in the house?
Everyone kind of slowly trickled away. So like my older sister went to college and never came back. My older brother went to the Marines and then stayed at the house, and then I got kicked out. And then once I got kicked out, my brother started getting the treatment I was getting, so then he left. And then by that time, my little sister was getting it, so then my uncle moved her out. And then my mom inevitably was alone.
So then when she passed away, she was by herself. There was no kids.
She died alone, yeah.
Oh, gosh. How awful.
Terrible.
Yeah. And there's, like you said, there's kind of nothing you can do. Sometimes you can't help people that can't help themselves. Joey Graceffa has a very similar story. He's talked about it in like music videos and stuff with his mom. Same thing. And it's like, it's so hard to like love someone who can't like fully see it, you know?
Well, I say this all the time. My mom was the best woman in the world when she wasn't drinking. The problem is she was always drunk.
Yeah.
And that's the saddest thing. It's like, you know, it's just, it'll eat you up and kill you.
Do you think that you like gravitated towards finding like love young for like to fill a void, or do you think it just happened? Like, were you
Damn.
looking for it? Or
I was always looking for it. Like, that was the thing. Like, I couldn't be alone, but like, I always got cheated on. So like, that was like it came to a point where I was like, am I doing something wrong? Like, why is this happening to me so many times? Then I met Kouvr. And like, it was a rocky at the beginning because we were long distance. And I think she just didn't realize like, that we were together or something, and she had a boyfriend at the time in Hawaii.
Oh,
right?
Wait,
crazy.
What?
There's a whole lore to it. It's crazy.
I didn't know that.
But so she had a boyfriend at the time, and they were like on and off, and then started talking to me, and then like it just became this weird situation. And then once she realized, like, I was like, oh hey, this is weird, bro.
Yeah,
and I broke up with her. She's like, oh like I'm doing this or whatever, and then she moved out here, and we. She's like, hey, I want you. Like, it was this very cool, like, kind of moment where she was like, I want you, I choose you, I want to be with you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really beautiful.
And this is when you're living in your car, and she's like, I'm just going to live there with you. How long were you guys, like, sleeping in the car before you found places?
4 months. Well, it was 4 months total. So I was there for 2 months, and then she had lived with me in a car for 2 months.
What does that even look like? Like, where are you showering?
Here's the thing. I was so lucky and so blessed that I had friends that would let me shower in their, like, that's the thing, like Calvin, Patrick, and Papper. Like, those are the people who would let us shower in their house and all this stuff because their parents worked during the day. So we'd go over to their house, shower, and then I'd film my vlogs with them. And, you know, when that got done, I paid for the rent. So, like, in Hype House, in the apartment before, all the way till last year, I paid for all my friends' rent.
Wow.
For 3 or 4 years straight to pay them back for letting, like, that's the thing. We couldn't afford internet. We had no money. So like Calvin, one of my buddies, would give me $5 and I would do what I can with those $5 and pay for Kouvr and I to get in and out like that because it was so cheap.
Yeah, in and out. Not anymore.
No, but $5 you could get a double French fries, a water cup, and it was $4.96.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I know the inflation really went up with the hamburgers at In-N-Out.
Crazy, right? Honestly, it's hamburger gate. We need to figure this out. Hey, McDonald's isn't cheap anymore either.
$10 for a burger. Five Guys is $7.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
I mean, hopefully it's going to the employees because I know their salaries went up. But I have a feeling it's not all going to them. I feel like they should probably be getting more than even $20 an hour.
I feel like as well.
I mean, that is actually amazing. So how do you even garner 1 million followers before Hype House? Like, how did you get the following? What were you doing?
At the time, TikTok, no one was posting comedy videos. It was all like, boy, like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
that was good.
Thank you so much.
Clip it, meme it.
Been practicing. So yeah, so that was the thing is like, you know, I was one of the first people to post like vlogs onto TikTok. And so I would get my bits. You know how like David and I very similarly would make bits.
Yeah.
I would post the bits to TikTok and vertical point and I'd be like, oh hey, go watch the full video on YouTube. And so that's how it randomly, like my TikTok started blowing up and then I'd post videos with Kouvr and I'd be like, you know, see the full version of this on YouTube. And I would put her in my vlogs and stuff. And you know, the Kouvr videos, like her and I blew up the vlogs and then people started falling in love with the people in the vlogs. And in the span of 6 months, I gained 1 million followers.
6 months.
So it took 2 months to start making money off the YouTube videos from the TikTok stuff. And I was able to get an apartment. And then I started paying my friends rent after that.
That's insanely fast. Like 2 months to make money on YouTube. Like it does not happen.
Well, you have to think then from there we gained, I gained, once Hype House started, I think like 7-10 million followers that year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What was the magic of it? How would you, like, what, do you think it's timing? Do you think it's the people? Like, what was the magic of Hype House?
100% luck, 100% Charlie D'Amelio, and 100%, yeah, like, you have to think, there's nothing we could have done. Like, you could not have replicated that.
Yeah.
That was luck. It was because COVID, everyone was trapped in their house. I hate to be that guy. None of us were special. I mean, Charlie was the only talented one.
I think there was some, right. No, I think you are, but you guys were. Each person did. For the ones you remember, Little Huddy,
yeah.
Kouvr.
Like, but like, that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of us got lucky. Like,
right. I think there's, maybe some that would not have, like, mainstream talent
necessarily. It was all the right, perfect time.
Yeah.
Charlie was blowing up, you know, Huddy was blowing up, and all these things. Like, everyone contributed a lot to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I will always say this. I was lucky to be in the room. Like, that was the thing. Like, I was able to ride the wave and, you know, be able to make my music.
It is like lightning in a bottle, right? Like, it's like, how does that happen? I remember watching it in 2020 and seeing it, and it's like, wow, this is like this whole new, like, world of, like, social media. It really was like a new wave, which was really cool. What do you think of TikTok now versus then?
Oh gosh, I don't know. There's so much like slang. I feel old. Like,
even though you're 23,
like gyat and skibbity and all these brain rot things. I have no idea what it means. But I have a
don't
roommate.
either.
I have a roommate that's like 27, 28, and he'll come in and he'll be like skibbity toilet riz, and I'm like, bro, you're like 30. What are you f***ing saying?
That would be me if I knew what it was. I'm gonna
What
say
does
it
it
now.
mean? But he knows it. He knows all
he
of it. Like
does.
he knows what all of it means. So I'm always like getting educated.
Skibbity? What is it? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you.
In a toilet.
Is it a head in a toilet?
Little kids watch it.
Skibbity?
Skibidi toilet, yeah.
Look at Moses just schooling
45
us.
knowing skibbity.
Hell yes, bro. Hell yes.
That's so funny. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I didn't know that one. Or what's, gyat, or that's just one.
That's a butt, right? That's like a plumptuous butt.
That one I don't know.
Gyat is
yeah,
a
like-
pumpkin. I
Right?
love it.
My,
no one in the room
publicist
knows.
is like, what the
No gyats here. Wait, so okay, that's so interesting that you don't keep up with it. So you don't keep up with the trends of TikTok?
You have to think like all I'm doing is promoting my music now. Like and like I'll post
Yes.
with my wife like a lot. Like if my wife is very funny. Like
I love her.
she's such a mood is the best way
Yes.
to explain it. Like she just gets in these like zoomies, and I have so much fun because then I like film with her. And no, most of my life consists of making music and then promoting it.
And you do an amazing job promoting
Thank
it.
you.
I was telling your papa, I was like, literally my husband knows them. Every single TikTok is just your song. Like, I think you've done like 50 for what's your Carry Home. Those,
Yeah, I did a
it
lot.
probably has over 100 maybe. I don't know. There was so many.
Yeah.
And you hear the song over and over. And I don't even know if he knows you. It sounds like Ed Sheeran or something like that. Like, that's who I thought it was. Like, I had no
What?
idea it was you.
I've
And when
never
I was
gotten
like,
that.
Really?
Yeah.
It reminds me of like, I don't know his songs that well. That's like, I'm on my way. You know that
Yeah.
song? That's like the voice you
I've
give.
chased that song for so long.
Really?
Like when you go in to make a song, like there's songs you think of when you're writing, and like that song, Castle on the Hill,
Okay.
I've wanted to create for so long, and I just can't get close.
Well, it is.
But I'm
It's-
glad you think it sounds
Because
like
I
that.
don't know Ed Sheeran music at all. I just know that song, and I was singing on the podcast.
He's a huge inspiration of mine. I love
Okay,
him.
so
love him.
that
So
makes-
that's a very big
Okay,
compliment.
good.
Thank
Because I
you
was
so
like, wait,
much.
hopefully you like him because that's
No,
the
I
vibe
love
I
him.
get.
I love him.
Yeah, he is kind of amazing.
He's so cute too.
He is so cute.
Cute British guy.
And he's also another one that you just are like, I love that he loves his wife. I love that he talks about it. You know what I mean? They're high school
Yeah,
sweethearts.
yeah.
And I just like, I just don't see that, especially with musicians. Usually, they're always like cheating or they're
Sure.
just doing whatever. So I just love people who like love their wives. It makes me so excited.
Oh, thanks.
And it gives me that vibe. Speaking of musicians who lost their parents, who have dead parents, Clinton Kane, what did you think when people thought you were, did they... I saw you post something that's like, this is my actual real story that he lied about one of his
I
parents being
posted
dead.
something.
You said something like when
people were accusing me of
Being-
not losing my parents, and I was like, guys, look, I have receipts, and I did an unboxing of my parents online.
which is the most wild thing I've ever seen.
Really?
When you're like, my parents in a FedEx box, and you're like, here they are. I was
Ziploc
like, what?
bag.
Yes.
That's how I got them. Yeah.
That seems very
But
tactless for the company.
But it's so funny because like this is a very common thing that happens when people lose parents and like are shipping their remains to other places. Like what the f- do you put them in? And so like my brother, I think, sent it to me in a Ziploc bag.
Oh my, wow.
But we have like a very unhinged f***ing, comedy, and I think it's just a coping way. But
Yeah.
the Clinton thing, I don't know. Clinton and I were friends for a very long time.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how we bonded, actually, is because of our dead parents.
Did he tell you both of his were dead?
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, wow. Okay.
But I haven't talked to him since.
Wow. Wait, so you're like, oh, my parents died. He's like, mine too?
So Clinton was the first show I ever performed. I opened for Clinton.
What?
Yeah, we were very close. And no, so many people ask me, they're like, well, how do you feel? He lied to you? And I'm like, look, I don't care. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's... I don't take offense to it. It's not my. So many people are like, "Well, do you want an apology?" I'm like, "For what?" Like, if he genuinely wanted, like, he told me his mom fell down a flight of stairs and like hit her head, and died from a brain something after. And
Oh my God. It was a whole story then. It wasn't just like my parents are dead. It's like.
no, like he gave me the whole story about how his brother died and everything. Like but that's the thing is like. It's not my business. Like, I don't know how to say this. Like, it's not my. Just because he said that to me, I'm not like offended by it. But so many people want me to be. I think.
Yeah.
I'm just like, live your life. But ever since it came out, we were talking regularly, and then when this came out, I think people just made it weird with me. I think because they were like, oh, he's cosplaying as Alex Warren, and I was like, that's just unnecessary.
Yeah, maybe though.
I just
like
don't.
maybe he stole like an identity or something. He saw it working for you. He's like.
I think when you write songs, and especially when like, whether someone's dead to you or whatever, I think that's an easier story to sell that they were actually dead. I just think over time he convinced himself it was real.
That could very well be, because I think he says he's not so close with his mom, so maybe he
Yeah.
wrote her off as being dead or something.
Yeah,
I
I
try
just-
to understand the psychology behind it too. I'm like,
I personally,
why?
I think with a lot of these things, I just try not to get hung up on it.
Yeah, that's actually a better way to be.
I live my life. I write my songs. I hang out with my wife and dogs, and I f off. Like that's
I wish I could
that's
be
how it
like
is.
you. I'm so into gossip. I'm so
Really?
into. I am. I mean,
Kovr's the same way. She loves it. She'll do a deep dive on all of it, and she's obsessed with it.
like going down the loophole. Like, do you guys watch TikToks together ever?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, I hate drama. I'm so like. Wow. Well, I'm too forgiving. Like I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Like if someone had me over and I saw them on the street, I would somehow like want to make them feel good.
Oh my god, you're like, I'm sorry for you being.
Right, right. That's just how it is. So yeah, I don't know. She's not that way. She's very much like if someone her over, she's like, I want them to burn.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, this is a 5'3" girl who is on the outside very sweet,
Right.
But she holds a lot of anger.
Let's look at you guys balance each other, because that's how I am too. I'm a hothead.
Yeah.
and he's
She's
very
like,
calm.
so I usually calm her down.
Yeah.
But when it comes
the
down to
best
drama, she gets so soaked into it.
It's so
I can't watch it.
fun.
I cringe. Like it hurts.
Really?
Like in reality shows, I ask to skip a lot. Like if someone cheats on a reality show, I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like I get so invested into it where I'm like, just skip it. Like I just want to see. Like I don't like watching that type of stuff.
Wow, and even like
I'm
in your.
Dude, it's crazy.
Sensitive is a good word. I
Yeah.
feel. I think you're just in touch, like with your emotions. You don't want anyone else to be hurt. In real life, do you not like drama either?
No.
Like anything personal, and like you're just like no drama.
No, like even like the drama with my wedding, like I kind of was just like, guys, like this is crazy.
How do you deal with that? Because it obviously like went really viral, like your wedding drama, and it's like, how do you deal with that in general? Do you just like let things go? Are you upset for a minute and just don't show it? Like how do you process it?
I don't get upset.
You don't get upset. So that all came out, and you're like, it's fine.
Yeah, I
that's
like
amazing.
Kouvr obviously had her own reservations of it, and since I'm her husband, of course I have to like back
Yeah.
her and anything. But no, I don't know. I think there's like a switch with me where I'm just like, guys, this is not a big deal.
And nothing, you don't hold on to anything. Like you're not a ticking time bomb where you like explode one day after because you hold it in.
No.
I mean, I believe people are like you exist. Like I said, my husband's that way too. Like nothing bothers him truly. So
I think there's like things that bother me.
Yeah.
I'm really good at like being like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Again, I think it's just because what I've been through. Like I don't.
Yes.
I don't care.
you've had enough actual drama happen to you that you're like, I don't know
I think
anymore.
I do care when Kouvr gets upset. So then I'm like, okay, like you know,
Yeah.
if she's upset, I want to help fix this, and so like I'll kind of just follow her wing. But
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of things like if someone like Kouvr could kick my so like everyone's like, oh, you're not gonna stand up for Kouvr. I'm like, guys, Kouvr will f***ing kill someone. I'm good. She's the
love that.
sweetest girl though. It's so funny.
So you feel like in the protector category, like maybe she's your protector. Like she will like look out for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really.
It's also like something where she can tell, like, if I get upset about something, like, when I do get upset about something, I don't talk about it. I just, like, I fight it with myself. And it's like, I'll wait till I cool down, and she's like, are you good? And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, let me handle it.
I mean, it's going to be so great. I think you will make like excellent parents. And I know Kouvr has talked about wanting, and maybe it's jokes on TikTok about like, if I get this many likes, we can have a baby or something like that. Are you guys looking in the future to have that
We'll
soon?
probably, that was funny that she posted that because we talk about it a lot. We'll probably,
You do?
I want to buy a house first.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's something about stability and not, look, we move around every year right now.
Yeah, you said that. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think there's just something where, like, I've been saving up for my dream home. She's been saving up, and, like, her credit's really bad, and my credit is, like, weird. So, like, we've just, again, with being homeless, I don't know if you would get a perfect credit score from that. So we've just been building up our credit, and, like, when we will inevitably, hopefully, buy a house at the end of the year, and then try for a kid probably next 2. Like, I want to have a kid by I'm 25. Like,
So you're going to be like young parents.
yeah, that'd be so
love
cool to be
that.
40 and my kid's 20. That'd be so sick.
I always say that. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah,
when
that'd
people
be
have,
really
like, and then
cool.
you can see your great grandkids. You know, not only are you, I'm like, hoping I can see at least my daughter get married. I don't even think we'll see grandkids, but I'm like, when people can see their great, we're old.
Jesus Christ.
We had our kids late. I would have loved to have kids. If I met Bill in my life, I would have loved to have them at 20. Like,
So you
I
have
would have
2 right
loved
now,
it.
right?
I have 2 kids. Yeah.
Amazing.
But it's like, yeah, now I'm
How is
36
that?
and I love it. I
Yeah?
love being, I'm very much like, I mean, I guess a lot of people can relate to you, not in the sense that my parents died, but just
Sure.
brokenness, right? Just
Right.
like stuff at home, whatever. And so I think, I've always wanted kids that way too, to like have some sort of family, like a sense of family. Like we never had holidays together, right? Like holidays were at like a Chinese restaurant with my dad and his wife or his girlfriend or whatever. So I always wanted like a sense of family. So I feel like that's why I wanted kids so bad, and it just like never really happened for me.
Right.
But I think like you said, when you do have kids, you either like become like your parents or you like break the cycle. So for me, it's like really important to have like tradition and like holidays and a space where all the kids can come, all the time and just feel safe and like, and I feel like when you don't have that, but I think being young parents is like a beautiful thing. Do you have advice for people like young love? I especially think young love gets a lot, right? Like people are like, you guys are so young, date other people.
I got lucky. Like that's the straight up thing. There's no like secret, I think. Genuinely, I got lucky with a person I'm super compatible with. I think dating, a lot of people just date because they want to put a label on what they were doing before. And it's exciting to say I have a girlfriend, but I just think dating's like a trial to marriage. And dating someone and being with someone is just all about compromise. It's how much are you willing to give up of yourself? Like, not give up of yourself, but like for me, I didn't have to change anything about myself to blend with Kouvr. Like there was things like life changes that like obviously she's from Hawaii and I'm from this and I have a broken home and she doesn't. And so there's a lot of things that I had to adjust in my life to be able to be the person that she wanted, but it wasn't impossible. And I think a lot of times when people date, they're like, oh, well, like she wants me to be this and I'm not capable of being that. And then it's like, that's a perfect example of maybe she's not the right person. So yeah, I didn't have to change a lot about me, and Kouvr, what she felt like she changed or, adjusted was like something that made her a better person and made me a better person. And now we don't fight, which is crazy.
I mean, that is, and to be together so
Dude,
long.
we're so lucky. There's just something where like if I feel a certain way, she's like, you know what, heck yeah, like whatever. And like if she feels a certain way and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Like it's definitely like kind of crazy how good we have it.
It is cool. Like your life is almost like it's like divine intervention, like all the stuff that's happening, like right, one thing leads to another. And you're talking about possibly moving out of LA. Yeah. And you talked about, the South, but have you ever thought about moving to Hawaii?
We want to have a house in Hawaii just because, like, when we have a kid, I have no family. Like, that's just, like, a given. Like, half my family's dead. So it's, like, for us, I want to have a family-oriented family. Like, I want people to be helping around and stuff. And she's got a huge family.
Oh, she does? Oh, okay.
Hawaiian, like, massive. Like, her dad is, like, it's a whole thing where, like, I even think, like, she would do great on a podcast like this and just talk about, like, her life because she has, like, a huge, like, family, whether it's step siblings or whatever, and half brothers and half sisters. So just to have like helping hands, I think is really important. Also, like, having a kid raised by family is huge.
Oh yeah, that's what we have. My mom and sister down the street, so they're
oh my
actually
God,
upstairs.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so they can help raise because you
That's
really
so
do need
rad.
so many people. It
takes a village.
Yes,
it's
it
like
does.
the saying.
When people on TikTok like don't have the village or they're doing kids by themselves, I'm like, that's
scary.
How. Yeah, how do you do it? It's actually so insane because Hawaii is so beautiful, and I feel like to raise a family there would be like the vibes for sure.
I've been blessed enough, and Kouvr's blessed enough where we make a good amount of money, and like that's what scares me is I grew up with nothing, so I can appreciate everything.
Yeah.
How do I raise my, and especially in LA, we see so many kids who are like, who literally get a G-Wagon for their first car, and they have all these things where it's just like, how do you appreciate life when it's so easy?
I know that's a tough balance that I don't know either.
So that's something I have to figure out, and I think like it's a weird struggle to have, I guess, where it's like, oh, boo-hoo, you have to teach your kid about discipline when you have everything. But like genuinely, like I've been blessed, and I don't know how to raise my kid not to be a dick.
Yeah. I don't know either. I don't know the answer to that. I feel like no one does, right? You don't know how you want to give your kids everything, but also they're going to be spoiled.
I think the thing I've kind of thought about is your kid's a reflection of you. Mm-hmm. So it's like as long as you are like, you've got a good head on your shoulders, it's like I think your kids will be fine.
Yeah. Well, now I too have. It wasn't always the case, and I'm like, are they going to be like me then or now?
But you've been through it, so you know how to navigate it. I think
that's true. Well, that's a good question, I guess, for you because I also have a mental illness. I have borderline personality disorder, and I'm always scared my kids.
That's fun.
Well, it's fun and it's wild, and it's manageable now. But I always wonder, like you said, your mom had bipolar. Did you ever look in yourself to see like if you have traits of it? Did you ever talk to a therapist about it? Do you think it's like?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Only for the fact that again, like I've said, not a lot of things tick me, and like I won't it's really, really hard to get me mad. Like genuinely, like you have to say some like to me. I've probably been mad to the point where I want to punch someone twice in the last 6 years.
Yeah, that's like nothing. Yeah.
So it's like with me, it's like I get mad. If I get upset, it's for 2 seconds, and then I somehow just tell myself it's not a big deal.
I mean, that is amazing, especially if she is bipolar, right? But I guess because you definitely don't come across bipolar at all. But I just wondered.
Appreciate it.
I like wondered if even like you said you've drinking alcohol. Like, do you ever wonder, like, oh man, am I going to go down this path of being an addict? You know?
I don't have an addictive personality.
Oh my God, that's why. Are you sure you're your parents' kids?
I know.
Yeah.
They used to make jokes about me being adopted as a kid, so it could be. But no, I used to vape. Okay. I was addicted to cigarettes. Not addicted, but like I would smoke cigarettes because a lot of my friends would smoke. Yeah. And then when I was like, oh, I want to be a singer, and I just stopped.
Wow, you just quit. You're like, I'm done with cigarettes.
I don't know. Kouvr has a really addictive personality, though.
I want to meet her so bad because I do too. I feel like there's so many.
Oh my God, you guys would get along so well.
Yeah, that's why I was like, where is Ko? I just like,
She's
I
such
love
a
everything.
sweetheart.
Yeah, I love everything about her. I was her original fan with like the merch and stuff like that. I really loved her.
Oh my God, you'd love her. You would love her.
Okay, I gotta meet her.
And she'd love you.
Okay, she has to come on.
Yes.
I didn't know she like does like podcasts because I haven't seen her on many, so that's why I was like, I don't know if she's like.
I don't think she's ever done one.
Well, I would love for her to be on here. She's like
pop
a queen.
the cherry on the podcast.
Yeah, because you're so open because you are so different from each other, and you're so open and like willing to talk about everything.
I think people want to see that. I think like there's like I could easily just sit here and I bet my publicist would love for me to give PR answers, but sorry. But I don't know. I feel like that's not. I don't think like it's not a reflection of me, and also like when I hop on a stage, I'm going to say some. I'd rather you not get thrown off by it.
Right. And I feel like even your and stuff like that is still like very, the way you present yourself is just very just like likable. Like there's nothing like problematic about you at all. You know what I mean? You're just like such an open book, and you have so much like, you know, baggage, I guess you could say.
I gotta come around here more. I just get lit up. This is amazing.
I mean, because I truly do. Like I've always like adored you, and like getting to know you now as a person, I'm just like, oh, this makes sense. Like you're actually like a good person and a good guy, which is I think why you have the success that you have. And I feel like you always are in good guy scenarios. I think this is public. It has to be because I don't know you like this.
Hit me with it.
Was it James Charles there was like a break-in happening and you stopped it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you always just
I get so lucky with this. So James is a good friend of mine, and James was throwing a birthday thing, and so we went over there, and I had Instacarted popsicles. So my Instacart was set to his house when I ordered Instacart the next day. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh shit. And I called him and I was like, hey, I accidentally Instacarted soda, so I'm going to swing by and grab it. He's out of town. I'm like, so don't think I'm breaking into your house or you're being robbed. I show up and he goes, let me know when you get there because the gate's going to be closed. I show up and the gate's open and I go, weird. I pull in, and as I pull in, 5 masked dudes run down the stairs and book it down to the backyard. And I go, okay, so he's getting broken in right now. I call him and I go, hey, there's someone breaking into your house. Just a heads up, check your cameras because he has cameras everywhere in the house. Yeah. And he goes, ha, very funny. I'm like, James, I love you. You're getting robbed. And he goes, that's not funny. And I'm like, James, I don't know how to say this. You're getting robbed. And so he checks the cameras and he goes, oh my God, I'm getting robbed. I had showed up right when they broke in. So they broke in, went upstairs to look for stuff, and right when I showed up, there's a spotter on the street I didn't see, and so I'm blocking them in. And
oh my God.
They run out, and I go, how did they know I was there? They had walkie-talkies, and I look right over. They hop the fence. They get into the Mercedes. I start filming them, and they try to hit me with their car. It was the craziest shit.
Like you as a person, like your body?
I'm filming them, and they literally veer at me, and I jump out of the way.
Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. Your life is like a movie. Like the house is always happening to you. Like you're there right when someone breaks in. Then they try to run you over with a car. Like what?
Life's a movie.
You're like minding your own business. You're like, I have to be home with my dog.
I just wanted my chips.
Did you get them?
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't take that. So it was left at the door.
Yeah.
And okay, so they probably thought, well, no one's home. Interesting, yeah. That area you got to move out of just in general. It's a nice area. Like it's
so nice. Like keep in mind, this is like Machine Gun Kelly lives there. Like these are all like celebrities in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And before it was Logan Paul. Like
yeah.
It's crazy. Everyone has security now.
No, and it sucks. It sucks you have to have that too. It's like, and then it still happens.
Well,
you know?
I grew up in a small town where like everyone's barefoot, no one locks their front doors, and everyone waves to each other.
Yeah, it's not like
so
that
different.
anymore. I wonder if Carlsbad is still like that.
It is. Yeah, everyone just rides bikes.
Chill?
Yeah, it's so sick.
No,
it's
I
just
love
so
that area.
expensive.
Is it now?
It's like $4 million for a shack. It's crazy. I don't know how people afford it.
No, I know California in general too, and then taxes. Everyone's moving out to Nashville or Texas, or I know. I just love the weather so much. I'm so like addicted to Southern California.
I'm addicted to the beach. That's the thing I'm gonna have to give up.
Oh yeah, if you go Well, if you have a house in Hawaii, then you'll be okay. And
That'd be
then,
nice.
Yeah, but if you get like gridlock,
I got to make a few records to do that.
yeah, I think you're on your way for
Hopefully.
sure. I love all your songs. The
Thank
new
you.
Troubled Waters. I'm so
Have you heard
excited. Of course, because you have like a little clip on TikTok, and then I did get sent a preview of it as
You
well.
got it? Hell yes. Do you like it?
It was so good.
Oh, I got to send you some stuff then. I got some songs I wrote about
Please.
Kouvr that you'd love.
I like that's what I'm saying. Like the Carry You Home, the chorus of it, it's like so beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's like one of those things where you just like want that reassurance, right? That you're like, you'll always be there, like no matter what. And I think it's like so beautiful. And again, people don't write that unless you're Ed Sheeran, right? No
Sure.
one writes these kind of songs. And I think it's so good. And Troubled Waters, I love that you have Kouvr in the music video.
Yes,
I
dude.
haven't seen the music video. Obviously, it's not
When I
out
get
yet,
it,
but-
I have your number now
Okay.
from this, which you're going to regret because I'll text you a ton.
Yes, please.
I'll text you the music video when I get it. It's so sick.
Oh my gosh. So can you give us, I guess it'll be out by the time this is, but can you tell us like what it's about? Like,
Yeah, I mean, Troubled Waters is just, we were writing a song kind of chasing like the rumor has it type of vibe of a song. And with that song, it's something where like, again, like not to be all sappy, but like it's all about like trauma and the things I've gone through and being able to open up and hoping they don't run after. And like so many times where like I realized like, I didn't start telling my story until Logan Paul told me to. And which is so funny.
what did he say?
He was like, well, I told him my story when I went on his podcast. He's like, bro, why don't you talk about this? And I'm like, I don't want to make people sad.
Yeah.
Like my life has not been great. And I feel like everyone who's in the limelight has had this amazing life. And I feel like when I talk to people and tell them what I'm like, they feel like they need to treat me differently or just leave because it's a little stressful, I guess. So yeah, that song is kind of like, when the waves get crazy and, all these things, I thought of like a storm out in the middle of the ocean. And it's like, would you stay with me or would you go?
I love it. And it's like, and Kouvr being in the video, is it that's because you guys are like on a boat or a ship or something like that, right?
Yeah,
so are you
sailboat.
guys like, what I saw is you
She
jumping
gets
out
seasick
waters.
too, yeah.
Wait, were you in a pool, right?
So it starts off on a real boat. And so we went out in the marina and went on a real sailboat
oh no.
for like 6 hours. And then we came back my house where like I drowned and we created my pool into like a set to make it look like the ocean. So,
cool.
it was so sick. And then the next day we rented out an entire soundstage in Burbank and put the sailboat in that stage and then built a water stage around it and to replicate a storm.
Oh my God. Were you, okay, so we did something similar in a music video. Were they like waterboarding you? Were people like making waves in the pool with you?
Yeah.
And it feels like you're actually drowning.
Drowning, yes.
It was the scariest thing. To even simulate it is
I
scary.
had to take a break from singing for the last week because I have so much chlorine. Just like all like these things, I don't know what you call them, are just so inflamed because all the water I swallowed
Really? And what about your eyes? Did your eyes get burned at all?
for like 3 days, dude.
Yeah. Did you have any weights? Was there anything where you're doing underwater?
She had to have weights put in her jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We did one music video like this
She
too.
had to put her
yeah.
weights in her jacket. For me, I would just let the air out of my.
Oh, I see. Okay. Was there any shots at the bottom, like of the pool?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's weighted down.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the scariest
your
thing.
yeah.
We had our problem. We had sand weights on us, so the sand was getting in our eyes with the water because the sand was
No.
coming. Yeah.
We had like actual like weight plates. And,
Oh.
they put it in her pocket because she kept floating.
Oh, I see. And then you can, same with us because we were trying to do Shape of Water where they like kiss underneath the water, and so we had to keep doing the
we
thing.
kissed underwater. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it so much. I think
We're just following the Trisha handbook.
No, we just stole the
honestly.
Shape of Water. I think Chappell Roan did one for Casual. She was also underwater with Sea Creature. No, I still every
love
music
Chappell
video.
Roan.
And your cover. Did we talk about this on the podcast or before?
Before.
Your cover of Pink Pony Club. So why
Thank you.
that song? That was beautiful. First of all, it's amazing.
So Kouvr really likes Chappell Roan. Like she's upset. Like right before like the big blow up, she was listening to her, and I was like, oh, like she's a great artist or whatever. And then she played Pink Pony Club, and I was like, that's such a good song. One of my favorite songs of hers, and I love singing it, and I think it's cool.
I loved it. I love that so much. I love when you do like covers. I thought that was so interesting because
It's my first cover I've ever posted too, I think.
Really?
Yeah, like on YouTube, like a full cover. I don't think I've ever done one.
Where was it at? It was at
Sirius XM.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
did they ask you to, or you just were like, I want to do a cover song?
They asked me to do a cover.
Oh, okay.
They wanted me to do a fully different song, and I was like, no, I'm doing this song. So
Really?
yeah.
I love that you got to pick it too.
I
And all
know.
your songs you write yours.
Yeah.
Oh my
I've never taken a song.
Wow.
I've always written all my own songs.
That is so amazing. Yeah, you're also very theatrical. Your voice is theatrical. Like,
Thanks.
I think people were referring to some like kind of Greatest Showman vibes a little bit. You know,
It was so funny. Actually, I write a lot of my songs after that. Like,
Wait,
I'm
really?
obsessed with The Greatest Showman. I'm a for The Greatest Showman.
Wait, really?
My favorite movie ever.
Oh, interesting. Are you a musical theater person or just that specific musical?
I did theater in high school. Yeah, I love theater.
You know, this is what
I
I
was
love.
the Mad Hatter.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm a big
gosh.
I just wasn't like trained singing wise, so like I always didn't know what I was doing. So I have a weird like singing technique that a lot of people haven't seen me live because I just didn't do a lot of it until recently. So everyone's now noticing that I do vibrato by shaking my head. Which is just weird. I just never got taught how to sing. So like,
you just kind of do it.
I can't get out of it. Like I've tried with so many vocal coaches and everything. They're like, okay, just embrace it then, I guess, because you can't not do this.
I kind of love it though.
So like I will shake my head like duh, like to get vibrato. It's weird.
You know what? But all the great singers do that. Do you know who Ben Platt is?
Love.
He does the same thing.
You're talking to a theater kid. Love Ben Platt.
I did not know this because you
Love
never
him.
ever talk about musical theater ever on your
I don't think
social
anyone
media.
wants to know that I like
The theater kids do. I'm obsessed with musical theater, and
yeah,
I love.
but like I'm not like I did like a few plays. I fell in love with it. I'm obsessed with Dear Evan Hansen. Oh,
The best in the whole world. I love that. That's my favorite show ever, I think.
Dude, especially Ben Platt's version.
Ben Platt, so good. Mike Feist, who's so popular now, he played the original Connor in that.
What a singer, too, might I add.
So good. Which is like now he's in Challengers and he's like a movie star, but I'm like, but he was so good as like a singer first.
Yeah.
What would be your dream Broadway? Would you do Broadway?
I don't have a good voice for that, I don't think. I have
You're
such a raspy voice that it's like I can't sing theatrical like very well.
Real? I feel like you could be in Les Mis.
Here's the thing. I have a really bad technique. Like I don't sing correctly. And so therefore it's like, it's not like, they're very like technical and like, you can even hear it in my talking voice. It's very like vocal fry, like all these things. And I think those people are very soft spoken and they sing waving through the window. Like, you know, it's like a very like, duh, duh, duh.
Oh my God, first of all, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
First of all, I love that you sing. I always ask people to sing and people are like, no. And I love that you sing that. And specifically that line, like I just, Ben Platt.
Dude,
singing.
so good. But he's got a very theatrical voice.
He has a theatrical voice, but I feel like you could, like if you were.
I'd have to get trained for it.
Which I think they do, right? Like you always see people go into these shows and then they get trained because I think you'd be so amazing.
Thank you.
If your like voice is like exactly how you want it to be, which role would you pick? Like would be a dream role, revival, whatever.
I would love to do The Greatest Showman. Like genuinely, I would love to do The Greatest
It's coming.
Showman.
It's coming to Broadway.
I saw that.
At D23.
I saw they did the live thing. Dude, I don't care who I would be in it. I would just want to be in it.
Ooh, that would be amazing. Yeah, Jeremy Jordan was supposed to be the original, whatever Zac Efron's role was. Do you know Jeremy Jordan? He was in Newsies.
Is he doing the musical now?
I don't know if he was, but he was supposed to be Zac Efron's part.
I remember. And then they kicked him, right? When Zac, yeah.
Have you seen him performing with like Hugh Jackman in the
So
rehearsals?
good.
I know.
So good.
Sucks. And then they obviously go for a bigger name, but maybe he'll get his chance.
I wonder if it would have been as big without Zac. Do you think?
No, probably not. And I'm sure
what
that's
I'm
why they
thinking.
did it, because I love Zac Efron. I don't know if he's like an amazing singer, but I like him.
Well, High School Musical, he didn't sing.
Right, the first one, he didn't.
Yeah.
I think they tried to get him to sing in the second. But he did Hairspray. I mean, he did a bunch of musicals.
Wow, yeah.
Which you're like, I love him. But I think if they did Greatest Showman, I think Jeremy Jordan could go in the role of Hugh Jackman, and then I think you could go in the role of Zac Efron. That would
That'd
kind
be
of make
fun.
sense. Would you do it?
If they asked me, yeah.
Because I feel like they do.
I don't think they'd ask me.
They will. They stunt cast so many people, and
But I'm
you're
not-
actually talented.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Plus, you have 16 million followers on TikTok, so
I don't know.
that would be wild.
I think I would be more nervous for that than any of my shows. Ever.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get nervous for my shows anymore, but I would be nervous for that.
Do you like to act as well? Like, do you like the acting
I'm
part
terrible
of it?
at acting.
Really? Even
Yeah.
as Mad Hatter, you don't think you crushed it?
I just sing. They're very like this. Like I didn't sing right. Like it was just. I don't know.
Pretty good though.
Thank
But
you.
you can change it.
Appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. I again, like it comes out of the imposter syndrome thing, and I'm just starting to feel like I belong in the music space. And I think if I tried to do Broadway or something like that, I think I would definitely have some panic attacks for sure.
Really? I feel like you'll like crush it. I feel like when you would do it, you crush it. I'm manifesting
Maybe.
it for you. I love musical theater, and when I meet an influencer that like appreciates and loves it, I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
there's not a lot.
absolutely. No, there's not, which I'm like so surprised about. I'm like,
Because our jobs are very theatrical.
yes, exactly. The performance. I guess a lot of influencers aren't necessarily performers. You know what I mean? Like my dream would be to be like on Broadway. Rosie O'Donnell did it, and she wasn't like the greatest. Like that's my dream. I'm like one day, you know. But I think a lot of TikTokers, like you said, rely on just being cute, right? Which is a talent unto itself. If I was just cute, I would be doing that too. But I think a lot of people don't like crave to be on stage. They would get nervous to do what you do.
I love it. It's
you
the
know?
best feeling ever. I don't do drugs or anything because that feeling tops everything.
Do you get so you get the high performing? Do you ever have a crash afterwards where you come home and you're like, oh man?
After, I just want to eat everything.
Oh,
'Cause
do you
I-
like diet before?
Yeah, so on tour, I only eat like chicken and rice.
Wow.
So I lose a lot of weight when I go on tour. It's awesome. I come back like with a six pack and everything. But
wow.
but yeah, so after a show, I'll just stuff my face with whatever. And if I have a day off, I won't follow a diet.
What do you do on your day off? What's a cheat day for you?
In-N-Out if they have it, but if not, I will. I do not discriminate. I will eat anything.
I love that In-N-Out's a cheat day. To me, that's like protein. I'm like, that's kind of like keto.
Well, I'm saying today, like, I went In-N-Out last night. I'll probably go today. Like, I'm obsessed.
Right here down the street.
I go to this one.
Yeah,
it's
so
17 minutes from my house, and I don't care.
Why didn't you go to the Woodland Hills one or something like closer? Not the same.
I don't go to In-N-Outs if they have security guards in front of them. That's just
That's a good
that's
rule
my
of thumb.
rule. I'm such a target. I'm just a weak. But you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I'm such a target, and especially if anyone's ever watched one of my interviews, they're like, "Oh, that's an easy target. Let's grab him."
Yeah. I get you. I feel the same way for sure. I'm very much like I don't like to go out by myself. I won't go out anywhere by myself.
Don't you have a pink Rolls Royce?
I did, and I got rid of it for that reason because people would just follow you. And
I love that car.
that car
great. Was so cool.
I know you were saying your sister wants a pink Bug, and Tariyami, she had like a
pink Mini Cooper.
Yeah, and
love her.
Yeah, I love her too.
She's so sweet.
No,
my god,
she's the best, and also very humble as well. Like I do love to meet like young people who are like rich and like famous and stuff like that, but also very sweet and like down to earth.
Thank you.
Because it's like half and half. Yeah, it's very much you give that because very much so many people, and I get it. Like to have fame at such a young age and like money is like crazy because I don't know what I'd be doing. But Tara's amazing. Tana.
Love
you close. She talks about you a lot on the Cancel podcast.
Love her. Does she?
Yes, yeah. Do you not watch it? I love Canceled. It's like one of my favorite.
I don't
well,
really
I guess
watch
it's drama,
podcasts.
so
I hate
yeah.
drama.
Yeah. So
I love Tana though. I'll
Tana's
call
the
her and
best.
she'll just she'll give me synopsis of everything. Like she'll
Yeah.
just give me a summary and be like, "Yo, like this." I'm like, "Oh, great." I'm like, "Thank God, I'm caught up on everything now."
fills you in. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she said she was supposed to come to your wedding, but it was the same birthday. I think her birthday trip was like
Her
the
birthday
same
was
week.
that same week.
Because she was talking about it on there. But I do want to go back to the dieting on tour because if it's okay to talk about like your weight.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have been open about it because you talk about losing all the weight. I remember you
Yeah.
guys made shrimp tacos. I follow it because I've never
I've
lost
done a
weight.
lot. Like I did keto, I did Ozempic, I did a lot of stuff.
You did? Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
I love being open about it. Like so many people can hide it. Half the people in this industry are on
yes.
Ozempic.
I think almost everyone I know is.
Right. Like, so
Yeah.
Kouvr has an insulin resistance. So when she actually started getting like shots for that, that's what fixed whatever. Like she would eat super healthy. She would work out every day. She did whatever and nothing. Like it would nothing would change. And you know, she always like struggled with that, I think. And especially we're on the internet, people comment about it a lot.
I know.
And so she was like, you know, I'm going to get this figured out. And so she took a blood test. She went to what are the people who do the woman things?
Gynecologist.
Gynecologist.
Yeah.
Sorry. She went to a gynecologist and they were like, hey, you have PCOS and endometriosis. And so she got put on stuff to fix that. And the byproduct of that was because she was eating healthy and everything, she lost the weight.
Wow. So that's good to know though, is to go to like a doctor and get that fixed.
Yeah.
I feel like so many young girls, especially like they don't know why they're retaining weight.
Yeah.
And then they try to start themselves and they're still not losing weight. And you're just like,
I
what
had the
is it?
same issue too. And I'm very active. I surf a lot. I skateboard. I play volleyball. I do a lot of things all the time. And I go on runs where I wear weighted vests and stuff, and I'll run like 3 miles every so often.
Oh my gosh.
Like I'm very active, but
Yeah.
the thing is like it's still like I retain weight in weird spots. And so I got my blood test, and they're like, "You have the testosterone level of a 75-year-old man." I'm like, "What?"
Wait, really?
Yeah. So they put me on. Well, first they said because I drink like 12 Diet Cokes a day, if not 15 Diet Cokes a day. I drink a lot of Diet Coke.
no.
So they were like, "You're pre-diabetic." So we're gonna put you on semaglutide or Ozempic or whatever that was for that. Which I was like, yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I have to be on Ozempic? Hell yeah!
Sign me up. Yeah.
But like, I didn't want to lose all this weight, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I'm running. Like I'm gonna tell you what. But like, what's nice is I got to be on Ozempic, and I got prescribed it because of being pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
And that I didn't ask for it. So like immediately I'm like, okay, cool. I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for weight loss. And now
Yeah.
I get testosterone shots too. So it's not like
Wow.
it's not like the part where whether someone's transitioning or whatnot. It's like just barely enough just to
Okay.
put me at the level that Moses is at, or anyone
What does it do? What does it do, the testosterone shots? Like, what does it balance out? Like, why do you need testosterone? I have no idea.
So without testosterone or the level of it, you get brain fog, you get depression, you get just a bunch of stuff. I think I'm not very. I would by 2 p.m. I'd be tired and all these things. So once I started getting that, I don't know. I was happier. I didn't have brain fog. I also cold plunge every day now, and I sauna, and I.
Are you done with the Diet Cokes?
No.
That was the one when I got pregnant. They said, do not do Diet Coke. They're like, it'll kill your baby.
What?
Yeah, because I love Diet Coke. But
Thank God I can't get pregnant. And Kouvr hates soda, so that works out perfect.
Yeah. And
I have a
specifically
problem.
Diet Coke.
So my biggest problem is Diet Coke. I will drink Diet Coke every day, 15 times a day, but when I sing, I can't. Because it's like bad for your vocals.
I see. So when you're on tour, what do you drink? Do you do like the throat
Tea.
coat? Okay.
I'm allergic to ginger, so I can't have throat coat.
Oh, no. So you just do regular tea.
I just do tea, or I'll do hot water with honey.
Oh, okay. So, and then you're active. Obviously, you're on stage. You're performing for a whole
I also
thing.
run on tour. So, like, I'll go on runs in the morning.
Because yeah.
The way tour works is we'll play at 9, we'll wrap at 11 or something like that. The bus takes off at 12, and then we'll wake up in a new state. And you can wake up at any time you want. Sound check's not till 4.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I have a radio interview or radio performance or TV performance that day, I'm just hanging out on the bus or going to a hotel. Every day we have a different hotel that you can go shower at because you're not supposed to shower on the bus.
Oh, how come?
Well, there's not really good ways to like do the I don't know what you call it, the piping and everything. So you can't poop on a tour bus either. So people just choose not to shower on the bus just because it's like you already have access to hotels. Why would you shower on the bus? We use it as storage. So a lot of people put guitar cases and stuff so that way you don't have to pay extra money for storage and stuff.
So you travel with a live band?
Yeah.
4-piece or how many?
I play guitar, so I'll have a guitarist and a keyboard guy, so he plays both, and he'll just have a guitar on him and play keys, and then I'll play main guitar or whatever the accent's for, and then I'll have a drummer, and then I run tracks. And then once I start playing bigger venues, like right now I'm doing 1,000 cap persons, 1,500.
That's huge.
It's big,
1,500's big, right?
But you shouldn't have 5 people on stage on 1,000, 1,500.
Oh, really?
The stage, I don't think is big enough. And also, it's like everyone's so close to you that like that sound really isn't going to matter. You can always do it with tracks, but once you do 3,000, like 2,500, like that's 2,500 to 3,000, you can have a 5-piece band.
Are you doing that on this next tour, October?
October and all that's still 1,500. It's about 800 to 1,500, and then they said I could sell 3,000, but they want me to just do slower. Like the way the industry works is you always just slowly bump them.
You want to sell out.
So they're doing 3, like I'll do a Europe tour again next year, and they'll do like 3 nights, 2,000 people.
Wow, 3 nights. That's wow. And I heard you already sold out a lot of your shows for the fall.
My entire tour is sold out, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so you can't even promote it. You're like, okay, don't buy tickets because it's already sold out.
But at every show, I'll do like performances outside for people.
Wait, what do you mean?
If people show up and they want to show them, I give them a show.
God. What if someone just meets you on the street? They're like, can you sing for me?
Yeah.
Wow.
If I'm like warmed up as shit, I don't want to sound bad.
Oh my gosh, that's actually amazing.
Yeah, I love busking. It's fun.
That's so cool. And like you could just be out there just performing with your guitar, or do you just do it like a cappella? Just like here?
Guitar.
Oh my God, I love that. So who's your dream collab? Like dream duet?
Oh God. I love Noah Khan.
Oh.
But if I was to do like something complimenting my voice, Adele.
Oh yeah.
I think Adele would rip.
I did see your TikTok. That's
I want her, dude. It's such a long shot. I've been posting trying to get Adele to feature on this song I have coming out, but it's September 6th. But I don't think she'll do it.
Oh my! You never know though. The power of social media is actually so real.
I'm just a small chum in the water, though.
I think Adele would. Yeah, I love was it Ella Henderson did? Duet. I love that one. Where
that was cool.
So how does that work then? Does she just approach you and you do, or you approach her? Like how does it work?
I don't know how that worked actually.
So
I don't know how that happened. They were talking to me about it, and they're like, "Hey, we really think this would be awesome, my label." And I was like, "Heck yeah, her voice sounds sick." So they sent it to me. She already did it.
Oh, the female voice with your voice is cool because you do have like a raspy voice.
Yeah.
So then hearing an Adele would
like a clean, like kind of like clean cut voice is really sick.
Who were your inspirations for music?
Capaldi, Shawn Mendes. I love Mendes. Oh my God, he's so nice too. Shawn Mendes is my favorite person.
And you met him.
So sweet.
I love that.
So
Major
sweet.
Heroes.
No,
Very
it was
nice.
cool. Is I saw him at Coachella. He was with he was like drunk with Camila, and I was like, I have to go say hi because he's the reason why I wanted to do music in the first place.
Wow.
Seeing him blow up from Vine, I was like, I have to go say hi to him. So I go up to him, and him and Camila are drunk out of their minds, stumbling everywhere, and I'm like, hey, we have the same vocal coach, we have the same vocal doctor. I always hear about you, so I just wanted to introduce myself.
Oh my gosh.
And he was so sweet. He literally stepped aside. He's like, hi, I'm Shawn. And I'm like, hey, I'm Alex. He's like, and he held a conversation with me. The next day I'm at Vocal Lessons, and I walk out, and he's like, oh, I have another appointment. I'm like, oh, cool. I walk out. Shawn Mendes is at the door, and I go, hey, not think he's going to remember me because he was drunk. And he goes, Alex. I'm like, no fucking way.
Wow.
So sick. And so I was getting a nose surgery that week because I have a deviated septum. And I was like, I was like, he got that surgery. I was like, how was it? And he sat with me for like 15, 20 minutes just talking to me about it because I was terrified. And he was like, don't be scared. You got this. He was so sweet.
Oh, my God. When you meet people like that you've like idolized and they're like so nice, you're like.
So nice.
Oh,
Him and Teddy
man.
Swims. Such nice people.
Really? What was your encounter like with him?
I played not festival. I played like a radio show with him. He was the headliner. I had played right before him. And he invited me up to his like green room or whatever. We hung out. He was so sweet. Gave me the time of day. He didn't have to do that. He was really cool.
And it's cool because too, like musician to musician, you think there might be like competition, right? You're younger, you're this, and there might be like, I don't know about this person, but the fact that they're so like welcoming, like giving you advice.
I've had plenty of times where I've been egoed. Like that just happens a lot. Even influencers will ego me. Like it happens a lot.
Really? With influencers?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like what? Like what's a scenario? You don't have to say who, but like what's a scenario?
Oh God, I was at Erewhon and I was like, "Oh, you're blank," and they look at me and they go, "Yep," and I was like, "I love your work," and they just looked at me and looked back, and I was like,
An
"Damn."
influencer or a celebrity?
I would say like it's both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Oh my God, that would like crush me. Oh my God, because even if they didn't know
I
who you
was
were,
in front of my wife and friends when that happened, and they're always like, in our business, you see famous people all the time.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to like that Air One right there.
love that one.
So I make it an effort because like I bet if anyone came up to me, I don't care if you're an influencer or whatever, I love it when people come up to me. Again, people pleaser.
Yeah.
But it makes me so happy, and I always like to like make them feel special because it makes me feel special. And I think it's just like when I meet other people, I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I have more followers than this person. I don't care about anything. I think their work is sick, and so I always want to go up and tell them that I know them.
Yeah.
And that I love it because like when people come up to me and like whether like Logan Paul, like I grew up watching Logan, and when Logan's like, "Dude, I love your vlogs," that makes me feel so crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
So like hopefully I can give someone else that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
And it's like whether or not they like know who I am, I think it just would feel good. And every time my friend's like, "Don't do it. You're going to embarrass yourself." And I go and do it, and I embarrass the out of myself.
Do you get embarrassed?
Oh my God.
Oh, you do. I would
because
think
I'm
you
very
would.
much like, "Hey, I love your work." And whether they know me or not, they're just like, "Oh, thanks." And I'm like, let's have a conversation. I want to meet you.
Oh yeah.
But like again, it's so like I can't expect them to stop what they're doing and have
No,
conversations.
I think
with
that's
me.
why I don't go up to people. I'm so parasocial with people that I would want them to be my friend, and if they don't want to be my friend, then
I want to be
like,
everyone's friend.
Yeah.
I'm like, please be my friend.
Yeah.
I need friends.
And then when they don't want to be, I met Britney Spears at a meet and greet, and I was like so sad. She only like spent a second with me, and I was like, well, it makes sense. She's meeting thousands of people. She probably doesn't care.
So
but,
sad.
But my parasocialness would be like, I want to be best friends. But then
Right?
sometimes it happens. Like Shawn Mendes obviously was very
I know,
like
such a sweetheart.
cordial. Yeah, it's always good when you can.
What's
meet
cool is
those.
like me and a lot of my friends are kind of like who all do music are in a spot right now where like it's looking pretty good. Like Benson Boone is doing amazing. I love Benson.
Okay.
And David Kushner's doing amazing. It's like it's cool because like now it's like, oh hey, like we're all doing somewhat okay, and everyone's blowing up and
and
it's
seeing
fun.
it and like I think there's like enough to go around for everybody, right?
Yeah.
There's all the audience and fan bases. If
Mm-hmm.
you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
I really wanted to be a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Did you know?
FBI.
Oh. Wait, are you like good at like investigating and
I think so. I don't know. I'm a
never did it.
Kouvr and I watch like all these like shows, and I'm like, damn, that would have been so. I want to go on a ride along really badly.
really?
Yeah, I
think that'd
had
be
a
cute.
cop at one of my shows, and I talked about that at one point because I in between songs I'm a yapper. Like I bet I've been talking for I don't even know how long I've been talking for. I love talking.
Yeah.
And
Which I didn't know about you.
Really?
You don't come across that way, but yes, keep going.
I'm a big yapper.
Yeah.
I will talk forever.
I love that.
Anyway, yeah, so I was talking about how I want to be a cop, and there was a cop in the audience. So next time I'm in Tampa, someone's going to take me on a ride along.
Oh my gosh. Tampa would be wild because I just think Florida in general is wild. Like
Oh
you
my
always,
God.
Yeah.
You always hear about the Florida man doing something.
For sure. What do they say? Type your birthday in with Florida man and something crazy happened on your birthday, like in the news, which is like wild. Do you like the fame aspect of it? You said you like when people come up to you.
Love.
Okay.
I don't care. Invade my entire privacy. I do not give a
Wow, I love that.
I love it. Well, I signed up for it. Like, and I
Yeah.
get it. People who didn't, like, there's some people who just post music and they're kind of just like, oh, I just want to make music off, which I'm very similar. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to get caught in drama, but I love it when people like, oh, I can't say that because people will start doing more and my roommates will hate it, but I like it when people find out where I live. It's
Oh my
cool. Like, it's sick. A very unpopular opinion. I don't mind it. I
Yeah.
love meeting people. It's cool because I make such personal and people like it, and when they like it, I want to know them. You know what I'm saying?
They feel the connection.
So when people come up to me, I'm obsessed with it. I've never said no to taking a photo. I've never said like I don't give a f- I'm eating. So many people. I've watched so many people.
Wow.
Like, I watch a lot of people go, like, oh, after I eat, I don't give a
That's-
interrupt my dinner. Do whatever you want. It's fun. I will hop out of my car at a red light to take a picture
Oh
with
my
you.
God. That you are uniquely you in this
Well,
one.
I've always wanted this. I've wanted
Yeah.
this since I was a kid. And it's like, now that I have it, I want to appreciate every part of it.
I mean, that's amazing. I think that's why you keep getting it, right? Like, I always believe, like, if you're thankful, more things come for you to be thankful for. And I feel like you're just getting it times 10. I think the only other person like that is Michael Jackson. Like, I used to go up to his house when I was like 10 and just like wait outside. And he like
Really?
invited us in. Yeah, he said, do you guys want to come in? And it was like me and my dad. And we would just stand out there for like 10 hours a day, every day, like waiting to see him. And
Wow.
then, yeah, he's like, do you
I
guys
used
want
to
to
do
come
that
in?
at the Hype House. People would come and wait outside our house, and I would let them in.
And invite him in?
Yeah, I did that.
You and Michael Jackson might be the only people crazy enough to do
It's
that.
so fun. Are you kidding? If I was a fan of so many people.
Yeah.
And if I went to their house and they invited me into their house, oh my God. I wanted to be a part of Team 10. I wanted to be a part of all these things. I would send
Wow.
applications in.
What?
Yeah.
To Team 10?
Yeah. I'd
What
be
were
like,
you?
I was like, I'll be a stuntman. I skateboard. I surf. I flip. I'm so cool. You want to be my friend?
Did you
It's
ever get a
cool.
reply?
No.
And then later on when you met Jake, did you ever tell him, like, hey, I
No, I
applied?
don't think he knew that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell him that. Are you
Why?
kidding?
I think that's so
I
cute.
told Logan I was a big fan of him, but Jake, I don't know. Jake scares me sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he older? I don't know his age. I guess he's older, way older.
No,
older
he's younger
you.
than Logan. Oh, yeah.
But older
he's
than you.
27, 28.
Yeah, I mean, they really have become mainstream. They really did so well from themselves.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, I've always said that too.
I love
always-
Logan. Logan's very nice to me.
I think Jake's always been really nice to me too. I don't know, like, his persona,
Yeah,
but
Logan's always made time for me. Like when I was
Wow.
Logan, I wouldn't have half the things if I didn't have Logan. Logan, I would go to his house and he would give me so much advice when the David stuff was happening. He was like, dude, like, this is me. I'm trying to like navigate this. I'm not trying to do this. And he would like walk me through everything. He was just very sweet. He did not have to give me a lot of he gave me a lot of confidence and stuff.
did it bother you when people would compare you?
I didn't mind it. I thought it was very flattering. I think it was when people would accuse me of stuff because, like, genuinely, I didn't believe that. Like, I was like, I'm just being me. But I think
Yeah.
it's like I compare it to, like, in songwriting, when I'm humming a melody, I'm like, oh my God, I just came up with this melody, and I'll go pitch it to the writers I work with. And they're like, God, dude, that's like another song. And I think it's just
Oh.
really easy to, like, get
Yeah.
influenced by the things, especially when I'm growing up and I'm an impressionable kid who is homeless. Like, I wanted to be David so badly.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it's really cool. Is ever since I stopped, I kind of like. There's still parts of me that I think like I grew up watching that, and that's how I am. And I don't know. Yeah.
Do you miss the vlogs?
No.
No. What? It's too stressful to.
Well, you have to think I was working with my friends, so like it was
Yeah.
something where it was really difficult because especially when my friends like I helped them build YouTube channels and all this stuff, and at a certain point, I felt like I was not their friend and more that their father, or like kind of like trying to get them to work and do all these things. And I was like, I don't want that. Like,
Yeah.
and also, like, I feel like there was a certain type of ego when you were in my vlog, and like, you know, you felt as if like so many people just like kind of used it against me. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, where they're like, we should be getting paid or something like
Well, I
that.
didn't mind that. I would pay for everyone's rent. I would do everything
That's
like
true.
that.
That's wild.
Like I
That's
think
more
it
than
was
David did.
more. I think it was more of like, no, it was just more like, you know, when I would have a disagreement as a friend, I would hope that it was with you as a friend, but then they'd be like, you need me for this, you need me for that. And I'm like, can we just be friends? Like, what is this?
It gets tricky. It just gets tricky, blurred
Yeah.
lines and stuff. But
And people would start arguing about it. Like my friends would argue with each other, being like, "Oh, I'm in the vlogs more than you are because I'm funnier." And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think that all.
Oh my God, you have a bedazzled Stanley.
Yes. Do you want one? We sell these. Well, I'm gonna give you one, but we sell
Dude,
these. Our merch.
Kouvr would want one of those so badly.
I
Oh
have one
my
upstairs.
God.
A brand
Kouvr
new
would
one.
use that all the time.
Oh my God, absolutely. And she has to come on, Kouvr, if you're out there. I love
She's out
you.
there.
I was the original stand for you. Please.
She was
come
literally
on.
going to come too, and I was just like,
Really?
"Yeah." She's like, "Well, would she want me there?" I was like, "Yes, dude."
No,
She's
yeah,
like, "I don't want to
absolutely.
invite myself there."
Oh my God, no! I would have assumed. I was like, oh my gosh, that's why you had two chairs set up. We're like, I'm sure he's gonna bring Kouvr too. So we saved you a seat
Well, she'll.
next to.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
She'll come on next week. if you
Okay.
want her.
Yeah, I love her, and I love all you guys together. The vlogs is so interesting. I think I just become like addicted to social media. Like I love filming myself. Like my main channel gets no views, but I just love talking to a camera, and I just didn't know if you missed that. But you're like, I'm good.
I saw your Nora Smith type stuff.
I love her.
So good.
She's my favorite TikToker. I love her. And there's another couple we follow in Canada that also do that kind of. Who's your favorite TikTok? Like, what's your For You page?
I'm obsessed with Rustin. You know that little kid.
No, who's Rustin?
Her name's Addie, and her son is Rustin, and he's like this adorable 2-year-old. And her name's Addie McKinnon or Addie something, and it's pretty much like it's the most adorable 2-year-old kid I've ever seen in my entire
And
life.
what's he do?
He's just funny. Like it's like here, like if you look him up, like you'll be like, oh my god, that is a cute kid.
I know. The kids on TikTok are so cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a hard balance. Like I always think my daughter's so cute, but it's like, do I want to post her? Because it's like, oh, I don't know. Like she's so precious and so pure. I don't want anyone to be mean. Because imagine like someone leaves one mean comment about your kid, which they've done. There was one of my daughter with her eyes wide open, like she has this and this. And they start diagnosing her with stuff, and this is like, yeah, and she's like 2 months old, and it's like, oh man. But they do such cute stuff, and then it's like the internet can just ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, I just always think everyone has their own opinion. Just
Oh
like,
my god! But literally, just being like, your daughter has special needs. I'm like, why are people so mean? Like,
that's crazy.
yeah, because what if she did? And like, it doesn't like.
But some of these people just need to be raised better, I think.
I think that's it. TikTok is really just giving people so much accessibility and can say whatever, and no one gets held accountable. And would you ever put your kids online?
I got that question this morning, actually.
Really?
Yeah. One of my friends asked me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be I want to be a girl dad. And I think I'd be very protective of
love that.
my daughter. Like we have 4 dogs, and I only have 1 girl, and that girl is my entire world. I call her princess, and I give her all the attention.
You'd be a great girl dad.
I think so, but I don't know. I don't know how to I think I would want to film moments with her, and I think it'd be cool to share those moments.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot of creepy people in the world.
I know. It's such a balance because I'm just torn both ways. Sometimes I post her, sometimes I'm like, I don't know. There's creepy people, but also like there's creepy people in the real world too,
Right.
you know?
And like I chose to put my life on the internet. I don't know if I agree, not agree, but I don't know if I'd want my kid not to be able to choose whether or not their life is on the internet.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like I get made fun of all the time. Like I said earlier, people make fun of my Pink Pony Club video, like even though you liked it.
Which is wild. I saw only nice
Some people are
comments.
like, oh, you sound like, and I'm like, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
To you, I sound like. To me, I hate it. I sound like to me.
I loved it.
I hate listening to my own voice. But that's the thing. Like,
Wow.
if I think this, so many other people will probably think it, and I employ you to think that way.
Yeah.
The thing is like, I'm okay with it, and I'm putting myself in that position for them to judge me. I don't know if I want my kid to get judged.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. And then also, too, like, regular people just get to share their kids and, like, nothing to it. But it's because
Right.
people follow you. It's like, but I want to share my kid, too.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's definitely
I'm gonna be
hard.
so proud of my kid. Like, I
Yeah.
want to like share the accomplishments and be able to show that. I don't know. I'm gonna feel it out and kind of just decide whether or not I'll probably try it.
Yeah.
Depending on how the comments are and everything, I'll probably figure out whether or not I want to keep doing it.
Right. It's a day-by-day thing.
Yeah.
Especially when they get older and they can talk, then I'm like, maybe I won't.
Also, my kid might not want to be a social media star. Like,
That's true. Oh, they'll tell you. Malibu definitely is like, no, she doesn't want to be filmed or something like that. So I feel like
That's
they'll tell you.
amazing. I love kids.
Yeah,
They're so cool.
I think he'll be an amazing dad. I think Kouvr will be an amazing mom. I can't wait for the content,
Right.
pregnancy content, all that. Because your views, it's really amazing. Do you ever get? I mean, your views are still like skyrocketing, but do you ever get like? Do you follow them? Like if they're lower one day, are you like, oh man, I'm bummed about it, or do you just not care about it?
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
I also have like 5 different accounts.
You do. It pops up, and I'm like, wait, I thought I was following you, and I'm like, oh,
I have a
Alex
lot.
Warren songs. I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it's like
The views, just like if it bothers you, affects you, if you care.
not really. I think TikTok right now is really weird. Like they do algorithm changes, and I can tell when I'm like, okay, that's like if you look at my account, it's like 6 million, 5 million, 7 million, 200,000. I'm like,
Yeah.
But then like I blink, and like 2 days later, it's got 1 million. So like I don't care.
It is crazy. Yeah, both of you guys have been able to sustain such high views, like in the millions. And I always wonder, I'm like, do they delete the ones that don't do well, or are they
It
just?
just depends. If it does
Yeah.
really, really bad, I'll probably delete it.
I do too. And people are like, oh no, I keep everything up. I'm like, not if it has like 8,000, because like you said, sometimes it's just glitchy, and sometimes like 8,000 views. I'm like, what?
I've
like,
noticed though, if when I delete, like, so if I wait a day and like, which is just, this is probably boring to so many people, but when I wait a day and like, let's say there's a video that did 6 million, 500K and then 1 million, or not 500K, if 6 million, 50K, million.
Yeah.
When I delete the 50K, all the other videos do better.
Interesting. I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
Just the set something.
I think
off
the
in it.
algorithm looks at your last 6 videos and then determines how those did and then shows it to the appropriate amount of people after.
Interesting. Yeah, they switch it up too based on like what they pay, because now people do over a minute videos.
I've
and,
never
you know,
done that.
Which is so. I guess you're just promoting your music basically. Most of yours.
I've never made a video longer than a minute.
Wait, really? So are
Yeah.
you just like not making money off like their creator fund or anything?
I don't make any money on TikTok. I don't do brand deals either. All my money is music and Snapchat.
Oh, okay. Snapchat. Everyone's making so much money on there. I'm banned from Snapchat, so I don't know. But
Really? I've been
love
on
it.
Snapchat when they first started doing the money thing. Yeah.
Wow. So you were in. I think that's the key, is getting on that. And music too. To make money on music, I think you and Tana are the only influencers who like make money off music.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really lucky. I got a really good record label deal. My
Atlantic
music,
Records.
I know my music's doing pretty good right now, which is very, very nice. I'm not getting dropped anytime soon. I don't think. Just looking
No.
for validation over there. And
you got budget for those videos. You're doing the underwater and all that
right,
stuff like that.
they told me the budget on that video.
Wow.
I was like, holy shit. Just give it to me.
I know, yeah.
I need it.
The budgets, I know when we self-funded every music video I've done.
So I self-funded most of mine.
How
and
much?
Then,
and they're like 50 to 100,000.
So when I was doing them myself, there were about 40. I remember the first three. When I first started my career, I was independent. I paid $40,000 to $50,000 per music video, and I never made the money back.
No, never.
It was just something like I just care about music videos. Growing up, I loved music videos.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like people don't do them the same anymore.
No. What was your first music video?
One More I Love You.
And what was the theme of that? What was?
All of my music videos have been true to like what they are, besides the last recent ones. But like One More I Love You is about my dad passing away, so I showed the story of how he passed away. And then
And you hired actors for it. I haven't seen that one. I need to see it.
You got to watch it. The first three are like movies, kind of in like their own way. So
is this the first music video where you're starring in the Troubled Waters?
I've always starred in them.
But I mean like acting, because you're never usually like the love interest.
No, I did Remember Me Happy, which was when my mom passed away, and I acted in that one.
Okay, so you do the acting still. You were not too sure about your acting with like theater, but with music videos.
It's hard. It's just because I'm so like I'm the type of guy I want to kill it right away. So if I don't kill it, I think it's cringe.
Oh no!
So I get really in my head.
Do you watch back your old music videos though, and are you like proud? Are you like those are actually really good?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like right after maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't
mine.
rewatched mine yet.
I love it. I think they're good. You put so much money and like effort and everything. You're just like, oh, I'm glad I did it. I spent over $10 million on music videos, and I rewatch them. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, wild. But I've done like 60, self-funded, and I'm like, yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. I also didn't buy a house either until I was like 32. I was very much like you. I had really bad credit. I even had bad credit when I bought this house. We did it on income because I had the worst credit ever. But getting it fixed, yeah.
Okay, budget. Okay, budget.
Well, that was a whole other thing. But yeah, I used to blow all my money. I was like, whatever, it's the experience. And music videos were everything.
That's how I was. I was like, I'm 20, 21. I'm never going to be in this position again where I'm this young and have this money, so I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm like, if I'm going to go broke, now's the time before I have kids. I'd rather not go broke when I have a wife and kids and a mortgage to pay.
It's different. But also now you have someone funding and you're getting paid for your music, and I think you're in a win-win situation because
I'm in a great situation also because my wife makes more money than I do.
Oh, wow.
I know, yeah.
Wow.
She's the breadwinner, so it's really nice.
Is she taking brand deals? I guess I have to have her on and ask her, but that's, wow.
She's great. She's the breadwinner, and I love it so much because I get to pursue my career without having a worry, I guess.
Feel the pressure anyways.
Yeah,
that's
so it's
amazing.
really, really nice. And now that we're married, it's combined income, so.
I love that, yeah. Do you do one bank account?
No, no. We have a bank account where we put money into, and that'll pay the mortgage and stuff. But,
okay, yeah, we do the same thing. We keep it separate. We have to, also because you never know about banks. We have separate banks because we're like, what if one like goes under or like flops or you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, I've never thought of that. We have the same bank.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, I know it's a personal question, but I always wonder that when people get married.
I told you, I'm an open book. You can ask me my social security number. I'll give you the first 5.
Oh my God, okay, don't give your social And I really love that about you. I just think it's so cool because, again, I feel like online on TikTok, you just see the musician side of you. So seeing all this.
That's why I like podcasts. I feel like it's like you're trapped. You have to listen to me talk about myself. Where like TikTok, hours. You can like just doom scroll, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I loved because that's why I saw you did a podcast. Maybe it was recent or maybe I just saw a clip where you're talking and you're talking about like getting shot. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I feel like that's a story that so many people, and I know we're coming out. Oh, it stopped. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. But I was like, wait, what? Because he's like, you look at you, my photographer, I was telling him, he didn't, he wasn't familiar because he's not on TikTok and he's a lot older, but he just heard what I was saying. I was like, yeah, he's been shot. He's like, wait, who is this person? Like,
what's crazy is when you hear my story, a lot of people think I make it up, which is awesome.
It seems, unreal.
But I have like an x-ray that shows it. Here's the thing. I'm California shot. If anyone from the South is hearing this, it was a 177. So some people classify that as like a BB in some way. It was shot out of an air rifle. So
oh my gosh.
It went through my liver, missed my heart by 1 millimeter, and is stuck in my lung.
It's still there.
Yeah, so I can't get an MRI. I wear this bracelet because if I ever go unconscious and a paramedic grabs me, they can't. Oh. It tells, like, they can scan this because an MRI is a giant magnet. So if I go into an MRI machine, it'll rip out of me.
Oh my God. Like, what does that mean? Like, you will die?
Yeah, I'll die on instant.
Oh my gosh, Alex, this is crazy. Like, your life is also very precious. Like, it's always like at risk. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, I guess.
What about going through the machines at the security?
Well, so it's lead, so it won't set off one of those. It's not metal.
But they see it when they go. Oh my gosh.
And I guess lead is a type of metal, I guess.
I actually have no idea. But you got married by the person who
shot me.
You.
Yeah. So the guy who officiated my wedding is the person who shot me.
I mean, you're very forgiving. I mean, I know it was like what was it, an accident? Were you like running away or something?
Okay, well, it wasn't an accident, but it was an accident. His sons loaded the gun and he didn't know. and we were filming the vlogs at the time.
Oh no!
And he was like, "Oh, it'll be funny. Run!" And I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna shoot me!" So I ran, and he shot me from probably 50, 100 yards away, and it still went through and everything. Good shot, but
was it on camera?
on camera.
You didn't post it though.
I deleted it right after.
What? Someone's like, "Don't post this."
I didn't because I went to the hospital with a GSW. So the cops have to investigate, and so we made up a story.
Oh.
It's been long enough now I can say it, but we made up a story that it was Ricochet. Yeah, and he paid my hospital bills obviously, and
Yeah, you probably felt horrible.
he gave me the car that I slept in.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh! So you're like, okay, well.
And he also took care of Kouvr and I when we were homeless. So like,
Yeah.
it was something where like, he made a mistake. He knew that, and he was like a father figure to me for a while. So it was something really easy to forgive.
I think it's a good story to put out there, though. It's kind of like, you hear about that, and some people don't survive, right? Like TikTokers who do that, and they like have a book in front of them, and they get shot or something like that. Kind of a
Crazy.
yeah, it's maybe a good story to like not do that for social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think, like you said, and it's a mistake, but you don't know right away, right? It's just like, oh, it's fun, it's for the vlogs, but damn, well, I'm glad you survived.
Thanks.
You had like 9 lives. You have like a cat.
Yeah, let's hope I'm not really close to one yet.
No, I think you're amazing. I think you're resilient, and obviously you're here. Your story is so inspiring.
Thank you. Holy rock on your finger?
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, Moses.
This was Moses.
Making me
yes.
look bad here. Holy.
Yeah, well, we did, you got the wholesale diamond. I don't know if you got yours like at Tiffany's. They're like twice the amount of money. But if you go to like a wholesaler.
Kouvr's grandma is a jeweler. She made the ring.
Oh, okay. So you probably got a good deal then.
I got it for free.
Oh my, I got to like learn your ways.
This is free too.
I was just saying, this is so cool.
Right?
Is it like welded together?
Yeah, diamonds all around and on top.
Oh, that is such a cool. You wear it every day?
Yeah.
I love it. I love being married. I love showing the ring. I love all of it.
I still get a little giddy when I say my wife.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
it's fun.
cool, right?
It's fun.
It took you long enough, though.
Took me 5 years,
That's
6
a
years.
long time. Because I feel like Kouvr has
Yeah.
been like ready to get married. And
She's been ready since we met.
Yeah.
She wanted kids the day we met.
I love that.
No, I think because we were so young, and also the things that we went through and stuff. I think I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just puppy love. Like I fell head over heels for this woman, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't just so young that it was like, oh, like I have all these things happening in my life. I didn't want to make, like, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to have a child of divorce and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Make sure it's right.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everything, and there was just a moment where I was like, this is perfect, and so I started planning it.
How long did it take you to plan the proposal?
Wow. I had it ready for like a year. I had it planned somewhere completely different in Colorado, and that day it snowed 3 feet. And so where I had planned to propose, it was 3 feet snowed in.
Oh my gosh.
So if I went down on one knee, she wouldn't have seen it. So we practiced that. So aimlessly that day, I knew I was proposing that day. I got the flu that day.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm sick as hell, not knowing where I'm proposing. I have the ring in my pocket. All my clothes were lost in the airport. So then all I had was sweatpants and a sweatshirt on.
Oh my gosh.
And
You carried the ring with you, though.
yeah.
Thank
yeah.
God.
And it fell out of my pocket a few times. It was really terrifying. And I found this beautiful piece of snow that worked out perfect. And dropped down on one knee and asked. And I said her full name, which was crazy.
It's long, right? It's like this long.
It's longer now that she has my last name.
Oh my God, that's right. How many syllables is it total, you think?
Kouvr, Hoibo, Makamakalani, Onella, Kokalani, Vincent, Ann, and Hughes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Warren.
No, Hughes.
Oh, Hughes is not your last name? Or,
Hughes is my last name.
And Warren is...
Warren's my middle name.
Oh,
I got you. You did it. Yeah, I got you.
I thought I knew every single thing about
I got
you.
it. Before she
Wow.
was like telling my entire life story to me. I was like,
do.
there's no f***ing way you
September
know.
18th. Like, I know everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was
yeah.
supposed to be my daughter's due date. And I was like, oh, 18's our lucky number. And then she came on the 14th. And I was like, oh, man.
No way.
I really wanted the 18th. Yeah. It's just a
18th's
lucky
a great
number.
day.
Yeah. It means like life. Like in Judaism, 18 is like L'chaim is like life. And
Oh,
it's just
no
yeah, he proposed to me on the 18th. We wanted to get married on the 18th, but they didn't work out. But 18's a lucky number for sure.
I love that.
It's the best. It's like super, super lucky. And it means
hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love your proposal. I loved how it worked out.
Thanks.
I love your love story. I can't wait to see all your next chapters with Kouvr and your tour. Are you going to be in LA? I want to see your show.
Yeah, come to my LA show.
Where do you know where you're playing?
Troubadour. We should play. You should come.
Iconic.
Can we get them on the list?
Yeah, I would.
Please, I'd love that.
to.
That would be so fun.
I'm such a fan, Alex. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
I hope I get to see you soon. And good luck with everything.
See you in October.
Yeah, Yeah, go check out Alex Ward. Oh, and your new album, which we didn't talk about, you're just finishing now, but it's coming. Yeah, so working on a new album.
I just finished it, so it'll come out. I don't know when it's coming out. Probably October, but we're announcing it soon. So
oh my god!
if we don't announce it, this is an exclusive.
I'll make sure to remember that. But he said to put it in.
No, they put it in regardless.
Okay.
I don't care.
New album. I'm so excited for it.
Thank you.
And check him out all over TikTok. Use the sound, share the sound. It's
Yes.
beautiful.
Tag Adele.
Take it down. And we want to see it happen. And Greatest Showman, manifesting all of that. I really truly feel this is a manifestation chair. Whatever you say and it like comes true. So I'm excited to see.
I want $1 million in a Ferrari.
Yeah, boom, done. Happen. Thanks for being so open and honest. And I feel like you really are the most inspirational person I've met.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
You guys check out Alex Ward everywhere. Thank you so much.
Bye.
See you next time.